Hello, Internet people. I'm Nick.
I'm Josiah.
We're friends.
We're playing Marvel Rivals.
We're friends and rivals. Josiah, you know what time it is?
It's clobbering time. What do you have? What is that abomination of a beehive thing hand?
It actually is a beehive thing hand. That was correct. Yeah, our church had VBS this week, and it was like all like animal themed, like little animal themed. Like they shrunk all the kids down, like Honey I Shrunk the Kids style.
Oh my goodness!
And this was a beehive, and they were like begging people to take decorations home at the end of the week. Well, no, it came with 3 bees, and we put the bees up in the boys' room because they just like they're obsessed with the bees. They're really really cute. But
yeah,
I have this beehive I have to throw out, and I figured it looked like the thing's hand, so I'd start the episode.
Yeah, it's quite accursed. But that's yeah.
Anyway, that had nothing to do with anything. Hello, it's
Hi.
it's episode 25.
Oh baby.
Friends and Rivals Marvel Rivals podcast. Blah, blah, blah. Words.
Marvel podcast.
Okay, this episode we've got news, which includes the first time they've ever just added a team up in the middle of the season. We'll get to that. Then most of this episode is going to be something we're calling Rivals Quarterly, which is ironically our 6-month update.
Quarterly because it's a quarter of 100. Episode 25, big deal.
Yeah. Well, we're basically just going to be talking state of the game, and I guess the podcast, but it's mostly focusing on state of the game of where Rivals is at, what it's been like. The game's been out for 7 months now, almost 8.
Yeah.
Has it been 8 now? I don't know. I can't do math right now. But we're talking through that. And then we're going to do Armed and Dangerous, of course, and our favorite, the Reddit take of the week. Josiah, how you doing?
Yeah, doing good. I'm surprised I have as much energy as I do right now. I slammed some coffee and this new like coconut natural energy creamer thing with it. Because I worked an 11-hour day today and I'm very tired, but no, doing good. Back settling back into the humidity, and some stuff that comes with that. But
yeah, I heard you discovered some mold today.
Yeah, that was my wife did while I was at work, and yeah, we buy a dehumidifier is the moral of the story. Buy a big one. We talked to a couple of her family members who've spent some time living in some humid places, and they're like, "Oh, buy the biggest dehumidifier your budget can afford, and never turn it off. Like it's otherwise, like you'll have some problems." So
noted.
Yeah, but otherwise, not much going on. Feel like I'm still just settling back into not being in California.
Yeah.
But it'll be cool to have you coming out. What, 1 month to the date almost.
Yeah. I'll
couple
be there.
Days. Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And then starts my journey. Yeah. Boom. That also is gonna. I was looking again at the schedule, and that's gonna be the week that season 4 comes out.
Oh, right. Yeah. You were mentioning that, I think, last time.
Or sorry, when I move is going to be the week that season 4 comes out.
But it's like 3.5?
3.5, I think, is next time.
It'll already be out, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to have to be creative, because I'm going to be like driving across the country and then trying to play on a laptop at night so that I have something to say about the new season.
Yeah, in case you weren't able to record, I already was like, hey, to my wife, Hangry did a good job on the episode, and she just kind of like peered up from over her book that she was reading and like looked back down.
Like, not a chance.
Yeah. I haven't given up hope yet though. I can be persuasive. We'll see. But yeah, how you guys doing otherwise? I don't have any beehives to share. Any cool. I've got this. I have show and tell. I have this stress ball that I use now. It's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, all I really had prepared was like throwing a beehive on my desk at the beginning of the episode, but
That's pretty
other
much
than
it.
paper mache colonies of tiny animals, I got nothing. Just been playing a bunch. I mean, ripping through the summer special battle pass.
Yeah, I know. My goodness, you dropped
using all my Thor emotes. There's so much fun.
Yeah. You dropped all the Thor right emojis, and I was like, holy crap.
That one with the taking
there.
the glasses
I
off.
know. I love that
My
one.
favorite.
The Jurassic Park edit.
All right. Well, I guess let's get into the news.
Yeah, sure.
No reviews this week, so let's just hop right in. News.
Do it. So we haven't had one of these in a while because we've had so much official Marvel Rivals news that there hasn't been a reason for me to even seek out articles or anything like that. But this week was a little lighter on the news with a drop like right at the end today. So I pulled up an article that I found from Video Gamer that is Marvel Rivals got Kevin Feige's son into Marvel, which is pretty hilarious considering he is the MCU director. Yeah, right. I just thought that was really fun, and I liked that he said that for like Feige's MCU career that his son has only been feigned interest in a supportive way about all the Marvel stuff, but then he says suddenly he was asking me to tell him more about Hela, tell me more about the Punisher and these other characters, and then he started seeking them out in the shows, which is cool. Marvel Rivals gateway drug to the the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Who would have thunk?
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. It's cool too to see. I mean, obviously he as like the head of Marvel Studios and stuff, he would know that the game exists. But it means that there's like actually a personal connection there now. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what we could see other than just the crossover skins?
Right. But it is true that it's one of those things where like I know this is your game. So sorry, this isn't even like a bad example, but like Marvel Snap, for example, you're probably not necessarily likely to get into if you're not a big Marvel fan, because I feel this as someone who's literally downloaded but never once played Marvel Snap, I feel like it gets a lot of its passion from the community because of all the cool like lore things. And now is that not
so.
You would say
no,
so?
I think it's actually quite the other way, to be
honest.
Really? Like it was the App Store game of the year it came out. And that was because the card gameplay was like pretty revolutionary. So it was all the like CCG players and all of the like Hearthstone and Legends of Runeterra and stuff like that players that all like flocked to it. But now cool. I think it's relying on the Marvel thing a little bit more. But sorry,
that's great. Marcy, go ahead and cut the last 2 minutes of this episode, and I'll start over. So crazy. Sorry. It's just like Marvel Snap, where a bunch of people got into the game because of the gameplay rather than the Marvel IP.
I'm sure it was both.
Yeah. But it is true, and Marvel is like playing with that too by introducing characters that people know, that they're prior to this, though Jeff existed and Squirrel Girl existed and all that, like probably not many people who are like, oh yeah, Squirrel Girl. And now, everybody's excited over her, and everyone, obviously Jeff broke the internet for a while there by being so cute.
So Squirrel Girl and Jeff in the MCU win.
I know, right? Is it big enough? Like, is Marvel Rivals big enough? Having I don't. That's the weird thing about video games, because like video games as an industry make more money than like Hollywood and the music industry combined. But
Yeah.
like influence over those things are always usually like pretty limited. And when they do have influence, usually it's awful. Randy Pitchford Borderlands movie.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think what Rivals might do as far as like characters coming to the MCU, like if there is that personal connection now in the Feige household, I think
yeah.
what Rivals might do is be like a proof of concept for certain characters as being like, oh, these characters are likable enough
Yeah,
that
people
even
like
though
them.
they're
Yeah.
minor characters, we could bring them out. Like they did that risk early on with the Guardians. Like the Guardians were not a big.
Yeah,
They even
that's
mentioned
true.
it in this article,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
the Guardians weren't that big of a deal, and then the James Gunn Guardians movie did so well that now all of a sudden they're a bigger deal. So I think Jeff or
Yeah.
Squirrel Girl have shown enough appeal in Rivals that like they could maybe use that as like market analysis to be like, yeah, people would like Jeff if we made him. Although he'd be like a weird CGI. They'd have to do
I
a really
know.
good job with him.
They'd have to do a really good job with him.
But
Yeah,
like the Stitch for Lilo and Stitch looks pretty good. Like if I mean I think of Jeff as basically being Stitch. They're very similar.
yeah. Jeff is way more wholesome though.
Sure. Yeah.
He's so sweet. There's one other thing from this article that I liked that has nothing to do with Rivals, but I like how he mentions the advantage of expanding the universe to attract new players and people who are interested in Marvel. But he uses as a reference Spidey and His Amazing Friends, the
I knew
TV
you were
show,
gonna bring
which
this up.
yeah, which my son loves. Which I've thought about this so much, and I literally let out a full laugh when I read this line. He says in 2021 on Spidey and His Amazing Friends, the Green Goblin was making evil snowmen who were throwing snowballs at Spider-Man. The Marvel boss said. At the same time, on the big screen, he's killing Aunt May.
Yeah.
And my son loves to play like Green Goblin and Spider-Man. He always asks me to be Green Goblin and webs me up, and I have to bonk my head on the wall because he's a total goof idiot in the show, but murderous psychopath in the MCU. So
You're making me think that we need to make an episode bingo card, and Spidey and Friends has to be on that list. My son loves Spidey and Friends. That should be on the
yeah. The Marvel Rivals drinking game. The Friends and Rivals drinking game. I like it. We got it now. Well, now we got to come up with a bingo card because
the problem is if we come up with a bingo card and we know what's on it because we made it, we're gonna say those things to make sure that
But
how I met your mother reference on in other news.
Yeah,
I
on the
don't
Marvel
know why
Rivals official front.
Yeah, my brain just froze there. We have our first team up ability added.
Holy crap!
Mid-season ever, and it looks pretty cool.
It's amazing.
So first steps team up ability between the Human Torch and the Thing, and it's kind of like a reverse fastball special, except it's an airstrike.
Yeah, it's literally a guided missile. This is the coolest team up in the game, like unironically. This is incredible.
Do you think this is going to catapult Human Torch play rate? Like, do you think it's going to skyrocket now?
I wouldn't be surprised because the Thing's play rate seems to be really going up right now. The Thing's play rate has always felt pretty high, but he's actually like really strong.
And if you think about this, like a lot of people are playing Spider-Man too. And now the Human Torch is the anchor for two team ups with characters that are doing really well. I don't know. Like that might. I think that could be enough to make him get played a whole bunch.
We're getting literal dive comp, just dive bombing the team, and I'm really curious to see. You know what? I'm gonna see. Can I deduce anything from this? How much can you see? I don't think you can see their health. Yeah, you can't see their health bars before he impacts. It's cut like
they have it like super low once they land. So
I imagine the damage isn't that crazy, but it has knockup and it's showing his lingering field, which makes me think that might turn off mobility abilities
Right.
for
It
the enemies
looks
too.
it really looks like it's his shift a bit, like it's the end of his shift ability.
Yeah,
It's
the
just
anti-strip
instead of the
charge.
sprint, you're getting carried by the Human Torch, which
Yeah,
I mean, giving the thing more AoE knockback and like grounding and stuff like that is insane.
yeah. The
Especially
Human
when you
Torch
have
just go
yeah,
ahead.
especially when you have the torch like who literally zones. Like his
Yeah,
whole thing is about zoning.
right.
If you're knocking people around a whole bunch more, you're giving Human Torch time to set up. He's like right there. Yeah, it could be pretty gross. We just need to
Yeah.
find a Human Torch friend now.
I know, right? Man, I love the zoning stuff. I really wanted to like him, but my gosh, I'm just so terrible with him. He's one of my worst characters to play with.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
Can you imagine getting all three of them, the Human Torch like double team up too? Is you have Human Torch drop the thing on a couple people, stun them, and Spider-Man just follows up right behind with his extra damage from the extra tracer. But
yeah,
like he's just easy shot because they're all jumping straight up in the air, right? Like it,
right.
yeah.
There's some nasty wombo combos here. I'm excited to see what's possible with this. In addition to that, we have we have some Fantastic Four skins coming to the game, and they are the MCU skins, the first steps. So for those of you who are not me and actually have any interest in the MCU tie-in skins, congratulations! You got four of them to choose from now. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
I'll do the thing that we decided a couple episodes ago I have to do
Episodes.
episodes and say say that both Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic, I can't speak at all. Both Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic have pretty great hair on these skins.
Yeah, yeah. You
I
didn't
don't think
comment
it's
on the
enough to
thing.
get me. Well, he doesn't have any hair.
I
I
know.
don't think it's enough to get me to spend units on
A
what is
sweater.
essentially a sweater.
A
Yeah.
sweater onesie.
But I do think I like these skins way better than their default ones.
Really?
At least the two of them. I mean, Human Torch it doesn't really matter because he's on fire anyway.
Yeah.
And the thing it just kind of depends on if you like him being covered up or if you like the shorts. But I really like how it looks on the two of them.
See, I like John Krasinski at home that we have for Mr. Fantastic.
You don't get to have an opinion because you hate how he is like
You know
overall.
what?
So
Valid. I
no,
guess let's move on.
I would get the Sue skin if I was gonna get a Sue skin, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah, Sue, I'm just mentally thinking through. Unless you're gonna freaking go bananas with Malice,
Yeah,
she
I mean the
doesn't
wedding
really
one's cool
have.
too,
Yeah, yeah, it
but
is.
other than that, it's a bunch of recolors as far as I
Yeah.
can remember.
Well, I'm just glad that she gets another opportunity to continue being blue, white, blonde chick, because
That's
we
true. They
know
didn't break the meta. That's right.
we know that we need this. At least release a recolor for these skins.
Yeah, wait a second. Wait a second. They did two Malice recolors and they didn't do a blue and blonde chick Malice. What the heck?
Yeah. That's messed up.
That was all
That's
we
messed up.
needed.
Seriously.
Oh well. Well,
Oh well, indeed.
we've got a couple minor pieces of news that I'll just cover to wrap us up. On TikTok, which I have absolutely nothing to say about. I don't have it, so I don't know. But they
Yeah.
showed off that there's a filter available
Yeah.
called Jeff Summer Party TikTok filter, and basically it
Yeah,
looks
it's just a
like
selfie filter. You can have Jeff
yeah,
and
Jeff is
another
in the
one of the other
front.
beach skin characters.
Yeah, Jeff is in the front, and then it frames your picture with one of the other beach skins. So
Fairly low effort, to be honest, but you can rep your Marvel Rivals love in style on TikTok now.
yeah, and then also they have a second Discord quest
What?
that play another 15 minutes with Discord on with this quest on, and you get a summer special spray that is it's just like the logo for the summer special battle pass
Oh
as a
yeah,
spray.
that's right. That's right. I saw
So
that.
Again, a thing that's like, okay, whatever. You made the logo for the battle pass, and we can spray it on the wall.
Yeah.
Cool.
See, now I have PTSD though, because what is Discord going to take this away from me too in 6 weeks? What's up with that?
No, they're not. So I did this
trust
one. This one's interesting because what they give you is they give you a bundle code, like that Iron Man skin at launch, and you have to go like into the home screen, go down to the bundle thing, and like put the code in. So this will not go away. This is like added to your account.
Okay,
But
if you say so, I'll just have to trust you. Well, with that, it's time for podcast patch notes. 2 minutes on the clock and go.
all right. So first off, this isn't really a podcast patch note. This is something I wanted to tell you.
Okay.
So you know how we've discussed before that I'm a fast podcast listener boy, and like
Yes.
everything's at like 1.5 times speed. So
Yeah.
today I was gonna hunt through our episode for things to mention on podcast patch notes, right?
Oh man.
And so I listened for the first time ever on 2 times speed because I was like, I know what we said. I'm just trying to listen for like what was something that we had said we were going to patch note because I knew there were some things.
You're messing
Okay,
with
dude.
boundaries in the universe that you're not supposed to mess with, man.
Dude, 2 times speed. Our intro music is hilarious to me. Your homework. Yeah, your homework this weekend is to go listen to the intro at 2 times speed for last
I can do
episode.
that. I can do
And
that.
including your like pack from the dead.
With head cut out.
The whole intro was humorous to me at 2 times speed. That's all. Okay, so then things that we did mention last episode. So this will be the final final patch note on the Psylocke accessory location.
Oh yeah, you got the accessory.
I didn't get the accessory. I got the Winter Soldier cat one.
Okay, that's right.
I might get the Psylocke one next or the Emma one. Like there's 4 characters right now that have accessories that I actually play. So anyway. So we were talking about how her accessory was on the sword hilt for every skin except for the Vengeance one. And then we were talking about like which one will it be for the summer one? Okay, well, it's where you'd expect for the summer one. Although it's a little bit higher. Because they're actually being pretty detailed with the. Now that I've looked at it very carefully, they're actually being pretty detailed with the accessory location, where on every skin,
it's like
for every character, they have to pick like a place where it would naturally look like it could actually go. Yeah. So they might be able to make the case, except that they can't because the sword hilts on all of them can easily have an accessory on it. But they're just putting it where it would make sense,
right?
Which is maybe even less.
To give an answer, they would.
They
would say that.
Which is even less so because one of the skins, I forget which one it is, they actually remove tassels from the sword to put the accessory on it. So they literally remove things that are already on the sword hilt so that they can put the accessory there and have it make sense. So they're like willing to edit the skin to make it work. But Venom has to be where he is. No, but there was something else about that, and now I can't remember what it was. And that was actually the point.
10 seconds over. You'll have to move on.
It was the trailer. No. The trailer. We mentioned that it was on the sword hilt on the Vengeance skin in the trailer. And so then we were confused about whether it really will be in game. And apparently that trailer was from before they made their decision to move it off the sword hilt.
That makes it even better.
Makes my point even more so that they're telling on themselves. And then the last one is, we were talking last week about the third Celestial Husk map. And neither one of us could figure out like what it was.
Right.
And we were talking about like whether we had actually ever been there. Okay, so the reason is the one with the Necrosword and the one with that like, big like
cage
thing, cage DNA thing in the middle. They both have very similar like concepts. They're both these like outside canyons like that have arenas, caves to get into them, and then there's arenas. So if you're not paying attention, it just looks like they took the same map and put a different thing in the middle, and then it's really easy to forget that. But once you actually know which one is which, they are very different. The one with the DNA husk thing has like a lot more caves and like underground kind of locations, and the other one is a lot more open.
Oh, really?
With, like places for flying and flanking and stuff like that above ground. So
I haven't done.
Yeah,
I haven't done anything underground. I didn't even know that there was. So that's cool. I gotta.
I mean, not necessarily underground, just like little caves.
Oh yeah. Like side coves and stuff. Yeah.
Like where you were murdering me in our Armed and Dangerous, which we'll get to later.
No, I mean not as much as I would have liked to, but
All
well,
right. Well,
and,
I took your 2 minutes because
that's
you
4
said we
minutes
didn't
for
have anything.
podcast patch notes. So on to the main. No, I'll keep mine pretty short. I've got a couple things. So my my wife had not seen any of the summer special stuff until she came back home this week, and so I pulled her over and I was like, you got to check this out. And I showed her. She was like, oh my gosh! She's just looking through the skins. Funny enough, she was most scandalized by the Loki one, which I thought was
100%.
was hilarious. She's like,
100%.
She was like, this is the horniest game I've ever seen. I was like, yeah, it's some of these are pretty great, but I was like, I need that Loki skin though. You understand that, right? And she's like, no, it's so bad. So that
Loki might get arrested depending on where he is if he's on a public beach.
Yeah. So that was pretty funny. Another thing, a podcast patch note to set a future podcast patch note. Maybe you can just answer it right now. Jean Grey's ult. Mm-hmm. I had a game where like I had been like running for cover when I saw her ult go off, and I thought that it was working. But I had a game 2 nights ago where I was playing Magic, and I like dove well behind a wall, and the flame came through the wall and burned me.
Interesting.
And I was like, wait. Have I just been instinctually thinking that like, okay, flame blast, run for cover, you'll be safe, and I've been taking damage every time? Or is it that it glitched out and hit me behind the wall? I'm curious to see which one it is.
There's 2 damage sources. So there's the initial hit,
the impact,
when she hits,
and then the fire radius.
Yeah. There's like
the
that
expanding fire shockwave. Yeah, that's what I got hit by.
I think that one might go through walls. That's the one that actually destroys all of the summons and all of the bonus health and the shields and everything. So I think that might go through walls. That might just be
well, her impact does too.
Damage.
Yeah. Her impact does as well. Because that's how she kills the Hela ult. She flies right through it.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. We might have to do some science on that.
To be cool like you and take more than my 2 minutes, I did have a really cool moment where I guess I wasn't thinking in the gameplay reveal when she takes out Hela and keeps flying. It's because it's not really Hela according to the game. It's her summoned self. So I dove her while she was ulting as magic with my E and just instantly detonated in the sky and killed myself, but potentially saved the rest of my team. So I was like, oh wow, I expected to get like grabbed, I guess. I didn't realize that.
Nice. There was you just triggered something in my head, but I can't remember what it was. There's someone else who turns into something other than themselves. And I used the Phoenix ult to just completely destroy it. I can't remember who it was, but there's someone who, unlike Hela, doesn't come back if they die in that state.
Punisher?
No, it was. I'm gonna have to patch note this again when I can look at the hero roster and figure out who it was, because it was like the first week, and I was so excited about this. I wanted to talk about this last week. I was like playing a game, and like as I was playing, I was like, wait, I wonder if I could do this when I saw them ulting. And I did it, and I killed them instantly. I was like, "This is the most amazing thing I've ever come up with." But I can't remember off the top of my head what it was.
You don't think it was just coincidence that you did enough damage to kill them?
No, 100%. They were at 100% health, and they were at a
wow. Who the heck could that be?
I don't remember. So I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out, and I'll mention it next week. And then I do want to throw in a Phoenix tech if I can. So if you hold down the melee button with her and then spam in and out of your flight, there's an option in the controls for Phoenix to turn the flight to hold rather than toggle. And so if you spam the flight button in and out while you hold her melee, melee cancels super fast. It uses up flight energy to do it, but you can dance around people. Uh, I don't remember if it was a Cool Guy video or a TDT video I saw this in, but you can dance around people melee spamming her at like ridiculous levels. I was trying to do it to you. Yeah, I was trying to do it to you in Armed and Dangerous, and it didn't work out. But it is nasty once you figure it out.
Oh man,
So I've rebound her flight to one of my mouse buttons so that I can still move around while I'm doing it. And
yeah. That Z, right?
Try it out.
Oh wow, yeah, that's cool. I will have to try that out. That's like one of my favorite things about this game is Overwatch, for example, has like you have reload cancels, but that's all you have because it's a shooter first and foremost. But like Magic's like the entire reason why she's so good is because of her animation cancels. Yeah. Like that's crazy. And I love that probably wasn't intentional. Like I don't think the devs actually meant for her to be as good as she is with her like right click cancels and her E cancels and stuff like that. But I just think that so many characters have things like that. And I love, as long as they're not completely broken, like I love that they leave it in the game because it makes the skill ceiling so high and makes it feels like playing, like I get the same vibe playing that I do playing Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I was going to say
at times.
There's a Magic like one trick guy on YouTube. I think his name is Silly Spark that I used to watch a lot in the early days when I was trying to learn Magic, and he would constantly talk about how Magic is a fighting character game. Like she's not a hero shooter character. She's a fighting game character.
Yeah,
because it was all about the combos and like animation canceling and stuff like that.
Yeah,
super cool. Anyway. Longest podcast patch note of all time. Do you want to finish with something?
Oh, I was going to say that the only sad part is that you never get to see the third swing of her melee animation because when you melee cancel her primary attack, you can only ever see the first two swings.
Yeah.
And the third swing is cool. But, anyway, podcast patch notes, everybody.
All right.
On to the main topic. I don't know why, but I have in my head the like classic royalty-free casino jackpot soundbite playing in my head as like an intro for this episode for some reason because I'm picturing like quarter slot machines for some reason for Rivals quarterly. So I don't know, Marcy, maybe you could throw something in there, just overlay what I'm saying. But yeah, it's time for the Rivals Quarterly, everybody. I'm excited about this one. I think there have been a couple different main topics that at least I've been like thinking about that I've been separating as like different main topics. And in my brain, I just had this epiphany this week of like we should just like put this all together and do. Maybe my guess we haven't even talked about this, I don't think, but my like thought is that this becomes like a segment, every 25 episodes or whatever,
right?
That we do like the past 25 episodes,
Yeah, it was so funny to me. You sent me the text like a couple days ago. And like I'm having a kind of busy week, so I wasn't gonna have a lot of time to prep. And you were just like, hey, what if we just cover everything? And I was like,
Marvel Rivals? What if we just did an episode about that?
Yeah. I was like, sure. Oh boy. Yeah, but this is I was able to put my notes together and my thoughts together, and I think this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to watch the clock on this though.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we don't have a hero spotlight, which sorry, I know now this is another episode with no hero spotlight.
I was gonna say we got to get one next week, or we're gonna go a whole half season without a hero spotlight.
Yeah. Watch, they do actually here's season 3.5 update information.
Yeah, a week early.
Yeah. No, I'm sure they won't do that. But so we're just gonna go through some categories about state of the game. The roster balance, all kinds of stuff, our thoughts, the podcast and whatnot. And I hope this is just good for you to sit through and think about yourself. If you have any comments about anything that we say, feel free to leave a comment. So starting off with the state of the game overview. This is just the most generic, broad, unfocused. I think this is the hardest one because the other ones are more focused. But like, I think that I know I've mentioned this before. Like, there's a reason we started a podcast for this game, and there's a reason that like we're on episode 25. And it's because we both really love Marvel Rivals. Like, the game is not without its flaws. Like, there and this does have some like game criticism in the sense of like literary criticism of like getting into the layers of what makes the thing a thing, and we'll talk about that stuff. But overall, like, I think the game is really fun. The heroes are really great. The updates have been really good. Like, the devs are, the community really respects the devs, despite some things that I think people wish would change. But I think it's in a good place, and the problems that it has, I think, are fixable. And I think that like, they're showing, I mean, this is the first time where we have this shorter season, so we're gonna see how it plays out with them being able to start this new breakneck pace that they're setting for the rest of the game's history. But I think they're proving that they can pull it off, and they've already done crazy things like releasing 4 heroes in season 1 along with 3 maps. Like, that's, that kind of stuff is absolutely insane. So I think we're in a good place overall, and I think everything just tells me that the evidence suggests that things are just going to keep getting better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say on the overview because we're gonna have a lot to say on specifics. So without, spoiling where we're going on things, like, I think I would agree that like there's a couple of problem areas that have been kind of like bigger for the community lately, which makes sense as we get to the point where this isn't like a new game anymore, right? We're like over half a year in, so it's a little bit more established now. And you're gonna start to have people get past the honeymoon phase and get into the point where they're like, okay, but I really don't like this, right?
Yeah.
But I do like that, apart from our support strikes here and there and stuff like that, like, it hasn't gotten super toxic and super like, this game's just going super downhill. I mean, there's always the people trying to farm YouTube views with the like
Marvel
dead
Rivals
game.
is dead.
Yeah, but they either don't know or are willfully ignorant of how like release for games work. Like, you get a huge amount of interest up at the beginning of a whole bunch of people who are never going to play it more than a couple weeks, and then it dies off and you find out how many people you actually have.
Yeah.
I will talk about it later. Rivals is at a spot where it still has plenty of core audience to go around. So I think there's the made up issues for drama and for trying to farm views and add revenue and stuff. And then there's like the stuff that is a little bit more serious. But I think even there, like, this game has been incredibly stable so far, and a lot of it just comes down to the dev team's generally really good communication on almost every issue. And like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do this. I stopped playing Marvel Snap recently, and that sucked because I played it for years. I was doing the battle pass every month kind of thing, and I stopped because it finally got to the point where, like, there was we hear you guys, we're hearing your feedback, and then they would just keep doing things that were worse and worse every time, right? And it was it very slowly over time, but got to the point where you're like, oh no, this is just the corporate lying and then doing what we wanted to do anyway, kind of thing. And I have got to say that has put such a stark contrast in my head with Rivals, where like we have never heard them say the classic like corporate, we hear your complaints and feedback, without it immediately being followed in the next sentence with a solution. Even if it's not like the ultimate solution, there's always like an immediate, they don't tell us that they've heard about something until they're here saying we're doing something about it. Right? The closest we've ever gotten is the competitive thing that they said in the Dev Vision this season, where they said, look, next half season, we're going to do something about it. But that makes sense, because if they're going to completely rework something like competitive, it's going to take them some time, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
but even there, they're saying like we have plans with a definitive timeline of when
yep,
we're going to do something about it.
yep,
Like they're just like they're very accountable, and they also communicate in a way that leaves them accountable.
yeah,
Like that says get mad at us if we don't do something by this time. And that
yeah,
is
yeah,
incredibly rare in the gaming industry these days. So
right.
it leaves me in a place where I'm super excited to cover this game, super excited to be playing it and spending money in it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
like I don't feel like they're gonna do something next week where I'm like, well, I'm done and all of the skins
right,
are just gone now,
right, right, right. Yeah.
So
No, you're really well said. Yeah, in my work, there's a very common theme of like everybody has ideas, and this is just in life. Like everybody can come up with an idea. Few people can execute on it,
mhm.
and one of the like number one words that like I say as and that I hear a lot of my other like management team say to people with with ideas for things is like, okay, when? Like this is a great idea, like what's the deadline? Like when can we actually do it? And seeing that stuff happen here, like you said, I think you said it perfectly with giving themselves things that we can hold them accountable for, like goals that we can actually see and say, hey, you said 3.5, we were getting a new competitive,
Right.
X, is
Yeah.
really, really good.
Yeah, it makes it really easy for like if we ever do get to a point where they're not keeping their promises, as long as they keep making the promises the way they make them, it
Yeah,
makes it
yeah,
really
yeah.
easy to say, look, you guys said you were doing
Yeah,
this
what are
by
you
this time.
doing?
Like what
Right,
happened
right,
there?
right.
Whereas like in a lot of other games that I've seen, like it's always just this very like we don't want to tie ourselves to anything because and there is a fair aspect where game development always takes longer than you think it will, and it always has like weird things that you didn't think were going to take time that end up delaying this thing or that thing just because it's a really complex beast. But like it's just such a better it's such a better approach to say, okay, here's what we're aiming for, and then later on say, look, here's the reasons why we're not going to get there in time,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
give a new date, than to just do what I've seen a lot of games do, which say, oh yeah, we're working on that
yeah, right.
eventually, and like have a roadmap that's just like at some point this will happen.
Yeah,
It's not really a roadmap; it's just like a word cloud of things that
yeah,
people
right, right,
have wanted. So
right,
I
right.
really appreciate what they've been doing. They've even this season with the roadmap for like each week, like seeing what's coming out. That was really cool, and they didn't need to do
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah,
They've been
yeah. I
just
love
surprising
that.
us with skins every week, but I'm super excited to see at the beginning of the season, like, oh, I want to I want to use my units on this thing on this week, and
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
Still no Punisher thong, but that's okay. There's always next week.
Well, next week is
Um,
the Magic and Black Panther Phoenix skins, right?
I mean,
According
is
to
it
that
going to be?
roadmap. That's
Yeah,
what's on
yeah.
that roadmap.
Oh, that's
And
right. Oh, speaking of the roadmap, I forgot.
I budgeted around, okay, I need enough units left for that Magic skin.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting that magic skin now for sure. But cool. Well,
Anyway, we should actually talk about this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, kicking off these categories with roster evolution. So, since the game has started in the last 7-8 months, we've had a bunch of new heroes, the entire Fantastic Four. So, starting with Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic, and then getting the Thing and Johnny Storm. Then we got Emma, we got Ultron, now we have Phoenix, and Blade is going to be coming in the next couple weeks. So
Yeah. We're
it's an
we're
insane pace.
we're 7 months into the game being out, and they have 7 heroes out that have come
Yeah,
out since. Because of the Fantastic Four double season, it
yeah,
actually made it line up perfectly that it's been one a month, so to speak.
right.
And now they're keeping that pace on purpose. Um, the next time we do one of these quarterly episodes, if we do it on episode 50, there
Dear
should be
gosh.
6 or 7 more characters in the
Yeah.
game. We'll be at like 46, 47 characters. It's insane.
That is insane. Yeah,
But they've been doing a good job with that.
yeah, yeah, they have been. And it's crazy to think too, like this is so significant. This was not their game plan. Like they
Mhm.
made this change to go to bi-monthly seasons. Like
Mhm.
that's a wild thing to do. And we've still yet to see, like, we're still at the precipice. We haven't experienced what that looks like. Like, will the battle passes stay the same, or will they reduce them? Like, will they keep doing? Will we get a second map in 3.5? Like, we don't know. That came up last week. There's still no word on that kind of thing. But as far as the heroes go, like, being able to do a new hero every month is just absolutely crazy. And with the quality that they put into the heroes, I mean, this is the biggest selling point of the game as far as I'm concerned.
It's the biggest part of a hero shooter, right? Like,
right. And just knowing that, like, even if you take a break, when you come back, like, you're going to have someone new to play every time. Like, a month is not that long.
Yeah.
It's just so audacious. I'm excited to see where this goes.
What makes me excited about this too is, and I think this is, for me, this is the biggest, like, health of the game for the future kind of thing, is they're already at, like we said, 40 characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
These new characters that have come out since the game started have not felt like they're running out of ideas and they're rehashing things.
Exactly. Yeah.
The closest you could get to something being very similar to something that's come out before is maybe the Thing being close to the Hulk, except he's really not.
Right. And Phoenix
the
and
characters
Hela,
are very similar, but in Phoenix and Hela, but they even those, they've come at them from completely, like, polar opposite angles of the same archetype of character, right? So I think that's the thing that makes me most hopeful for the future going forward with all these heroes coming out, is that, like, one, the Marvel roster that they have to pull from is incredibly diverse when it comes to power sets and like things that are special about even people who have very similar powers that you could differentiate them and stuff. And then what they've shown so far is that their design team is really good at picking out, like, what makes these heroes unique and different from each other. In translating that to gameplay really well. Like, I mean, obviously, like, I already said it a couple times, like, the core of any hero shooter is the hero designs, and visually they're amazing, but, like, gameplay wise, like, that's my favorite thing about this game. And, like, I mean, you're gonna get me staying around for a long time if you're pumping out a new one every month, and I'm like, what's this one like?
And they're cool, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I can't admit, like, there's, from my number one most wanted with right now being Ghost Rider, like, if Ghost Rider ever comes up, to freaking Paste Pot Pete, like, no matter what, you're gonna have me coming in
He's on the bingo
try out these heroes. He's
on the bingo card.
Yes, and Chug. But and I think they've shown that this, I mean, is just gonna get really crazy too. But so far, they've shown that they're able to keep things balanced for the most part in a really good way. The buffs, nerfs, the reworks that we've seen for the hero roster has been, I mean, the most detailed stuff I've ever seen in any game. There's another bingo card item. Anytime we reference the Thing, something that is the most or the only, but it's true. Like, we joked about Moon Knight and Cloak and Dagger's ults, but, like, where else do you see someone who is so, like, what the number one thing that says to me is a burning desire to get it right. Like, they want the abilities, the heroes, the ultimates, they want it to be fun and be that action figure clash and have that kind of, like, superhero chaos, but they want it to be a controlled sort of chaos. And I think for the most part, they've done a really good job with that. And I'm how do you do that when you have 100 heroes? I don't know. But we're gonna have a separate category here pretty soon where we talk about balance and the meta health. So I'm not gonna get into, like, the balancing between the buffs, nerfs, and reworks, but I do want to point out some things, like, take us down memory lane a little bit, just to kind of, like, show how much they have done in the last 6 months. Okay, do you remember when everyone thought that Storm and Wolverine were garbage right at the beginning of the game? And then they've both been oppressive in other seasons. Right.
So the character designs were solid. It was just tuning and like meta that needed to change around them. You remember when Mantis buffs couldn't stack? That, like, I think that
Hmm.
still is an underrated change for a lot of people, but like that
Yeah.
completely changed how you played Mantis, and all they had to do was just allow something to happen twice instead of once. Like it's such
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
minute
Yeah.
change on
Right.
like a how much it would take to implement it, but super important. We've gotten in 6 months since the game launched, we got real reworks to Jeff and Thor, whether you like them or not.
Yeah. Right.
Like
Right.
those are big changes. Major tweaks to the thing, the previous Mantis buff change that I talked about, and Storm when they adjusted her from the basement to the ceiling, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And then tuned back again.
yeah, and then a whole bunch of like season by season adjustments that just kind of like tweaked characters within the meta. But like that's a lot of stuff for them to have changed while it not feeling chaotic.
Right.
Because with this much touch, and before, like I think it was somewhere in the middle of season one that they said, "Oh, we added the ability for us to do minor balance patches in between big updates.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to be sparing on it and not touch
Right.
too
Right.
much." Like they were concerned about not making things chaotic by constantly changing things. Where you log in
Yeah.
and you've taken a break for a month and you're like, I don't remember what anyone does because it's all different. Like
Right.
I
Right.
think they're striking a pretty good balance on that,
Yeah.
with maybe
Yeah.
the exception of last season. But
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know. I agree. And I think there was some unintentionality in that. I think they didn't quite. There is a lot of this game that I think is kind of accidentally
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like good or bad. And I think they are catching up just like the community at sometimes. I think most of the time the community is catching up with things like Storm and Wolverine to like what the dev vision of the game is. But I think there's times where the devs are like, oh shoot, like we didn't
Yeah.
realize.
Well,
Yeah,
it's just another like fact of game development that like, or just software stuff in general, that like if you have a QA team or in a game setting you have a balance team as well that's doing a bunch of playtesting, you get maybe a couple thousand games before you release something. If you're making changes like this every month, you get maybe 500 games played between the team trying to figure out how to balance things on a
yeah,
roster of 40 characters on either side. Like,
right,
that's you're not going to even hit all of the combos probably of what team comps could be, right?
right, right, right.
And then you send it to millions of players, and they're going to, within the first couple hours, have like played like an exorbitantly more like
Yeah,
higher
right.
amount of
Yeah, than
games
you
than you
ever
did
could
under that.
imagine. Yeah,
So
yeah,
you have to do a lot of like predicting the future of like what are the things that could be the biggest outliers, and you just can never do that correctly, right?
right.
There's always going to be things people find that are broken and whatever.
Yeah,
So I think they do a good job responding to stuff like that.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I just a couple final things about the roster.
yeah,
Team ups are one of the coolest part of the game. I've said it many times. I other than the which we discussed last week, other than the kind of like anchor bonus thing being kind of a wash based on how they buff and nerf heroes pre-post anchor buff. The team ups themselves are incredible. They're so much fun. I think they do a really good job. There is so much more potential that they have with them to do the like, hey, vanguards get great team ups
yeah.
with each other to encourage two vanguards to play and things like that. But I really love the team ups and the synergies that come with that, and just the like unintentional accidental synergies that pop up. Like we talked about potentially doing an episode. I think you mentioned it is your idea to do a like unofficial team ups,
Yeah.
just because of how the game works. Like there's so much there. I think the roster lends itself to that rock paper scissors mentality of picks and counter picks that we talk about all the time with this game in a really good way, and that all is like that is just like fantastic. I can't wait to see it just continue to evolve.
Yeah. I mean, again, looking back at the last 7 months or so of the game, we've had 8 different team ups that have been completely removed that were there at launch. Like they've
Yeah.
cycled through a whole bunch of things. And weirdly enough, like when the game came out, I was super excited to see new team ups, to see like
Hmm.
a whole bunch of new ones and like all the different ways they could do it. And I am. Like I
Yeah.
want to see them create a whole bunch of different combos with people. But weirdly enough, we're starting to get to the point where I'm really looking forward to when things cycle back in, right? Like I this season I've been playing Magneto, which I had never really done before, and
Oh
I'm
wow,
like
I didn't
I'm
even know
actually really
that.
yeah, I'm actually really enjoying him, which
Oh
is
dang,
weird to me.
yeah, me too. I'm surprised.
But I'm finding myself like just constantly being like, man, I wish we had that Magneto Scarlet Witch team up still. I
Oh
want that
man,
sword. Like he needs
that's
that
so
sword,
cool.
you know.
Yeah,
Um, which is crazy because like the Doctor Strange Scarlet Witch one is amazing too.
right.
And it's just they have such a great opportunity with the team ups as time goes on to cycle them back in and maybe have like more team ups change per season when they
Yeah,
don't have to make all of the new ones every time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and that's kind of one of my hopes is that this kind of gets into the balance thing. So maybe we're transitioning topics, but
Yeah, let's do it.
um, my one concern with their balance right now has been that season 2.5 made it feel like they were putting their hand really heavily on the scale of
Yeah,
like what the meta was going to be via balance. And I don't really like them forcing metas via like buffing and nerfing characters because it kind of
yeah,
takes characters out of your hand. Like if
right.
that makes sense, like if you're playing Adam and then they're just like, well, we don't really want triple guardian to happen as much, so we're just going to nerf Adam into the ground so no one wants to play him. That kind of sucks. Like they deleted your character. You know, that's not exactly what happened, but I'm just as an example.
Right.
What I would really, really like to see is as we get to the point where we have a lot of team ups and they're able to swap in a whole bunch without having to create a bunch of new ones, then you can shift the meta by going, okay, well we're bringing back the Magneto Scarlet Witch one. We're taking Guardian comp out. We're bringing back some other thing that has Adam Warlock and someone else, and like shifting the whole thing via just having the team up landscape change completely in a
Yeah.
way that is a combination that you've never seen before. Um, would lead to a whole bunch of, well, this guy's in two team ups, and I can, maybe we can. I love that kind of
Yeah.
solving that puzzle.
I think part of that puzzle will be solved just by the attrition of adding more heroes.
Hmm.
I think the more options you add, the more niches are going to be created. And I mean, it is there is no way. I joked about it either in last episode or a previous, I don't remember. There is no way that we continue to see four changes to one person's ultimate,
Right.
like length and like speed of a thing falling in the ultimate, like the kind of heavy-handed balancing that they have been doing. And I agree with literally everything you said, with no exception. Like I don't think they'll be able to continue doing that stuff, and I actually think that's a good thing. I think they veered a little bit from their identity of like not wanting to impact too much too quickly with this kind of stuff. And I have faith that they are
Learn from
seeing
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll learn that. And and who knows if I'm wrong, we'll talk about it. But
Well, I will
yeah,
say season three, like if you look just at the number of balance changes, when we were covering season two, it
yeah,
was like 24 characters and
right,
six team ups the first half. It was like 22 characters and five team ups or something the second half. And then
right,
this season three change, I think it was down to like 16 and like four team up changes or something like that. But it's gone down as they've added characters, which they kind of have
right,
to, like you've mentioned on numerous episodes, they kind of have to because they can't just
yeah,
change like everything. But
yeah,
it speaks to things getting a little bit more stable and then yeah, not needing to balance as much by heavy-handed like buffs and nerfs because they have
right,
more variety to work with.
right. And I think the most important thing for me to just back away, get a bird's eye view from all the like individual buffs and nerfs. The most important thing for me is the, here's the word again, like their philosophy of balance. Whenever I watch those dev visions and I hear what like their highlights and why they're making those things the highlights, like why they're buffing who they're buffing and nerfing who they're nerfing, I'm like, yes, like that makes
Mhm.
perfect sense. It's data driven. It's looking at, okay, these heroes have low pick rates and low win rates, or these heroes have high pick rates and high win rates. Like using that data driven analysis to determine what needs to be buffed and nerfed, I think is a really good starting point. And then from there, whatever other match data they have and things like that. It's not that I disagree with the overview of the balancing decisions they make. It's just sometimes when we get into the actual numbers, I'm like, ugh,
Right.
that
Yeah.
was too much.
I will say,
yeah.
I feel like they've been very consistent with nerfing high pick rate, high win rate characters. I don't know that they've been as consistent with buffing low pick rate, low win rate characters, other than like the Jeff rework. I guess what I'm still waiting on is Widow. Like Widow, I looked it up again today, and she's sitting at 40% win rate,
Yeah,
and like a 3% play rate. Adam Warlock, who we've been constantly crying about how much they've destroyed him the last couple seasons,
yeah,
he has an 8% higher win rate than her and a 2% higher play rate. So like, as much as we feel like Adam Warlock has just been like taken down a peg constantly, Widow is still like abysmally lower in
yeah,
every respect than him. I don't know. I've grown more okay in theory with why Widow would be like that, as like, okay, she's
yeah.
a specialist, except the other specialist duelists
I know. Yeah,
have the
are
exact
more
opposite
viable.
thing. They're
Right,
like
right.
super high win rate with low pick rate. So
Yeah,
I feel like that 40% says like even if you're a really good Widow, you're not winning most of the time. Like it can't just be because there aren't many people playing her. It can't just be that there's a bunch of like Widow fans that are tanking every single game they're playing, taking down the people who are
yeah,
really good. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I think that's
That
kind of
would
my glaring
be.
hole. Is like they need to do something with her.
You know
I
what
know
I'm
they
gonna
scared.
do for next week? I'm gonna see what kind of Overwatch meta they have, and I'm curious to see what Widowmaker's pick and win rate is in
That'd be
competitive.
interesting. Yeah,
That
yeah.
would be very interesting, just as like a dedicated sniper character to see what kind of, because I it doesn't my assumption is that Widowmaker's win rate and pick rate would be fairly low. I think I'm gonna see that as far as like a tier list goes. Will it be reflective of as bad as Black Widow is? I
Right.
doubt it, because Widow has one shot. Wow, I just said
Yeah.
Widow as if you would know. Widowmaker has one shot potential, whereas Black Widow does not. But
That is an
I,
interesting
I
point
agree
though.
with you, though. I do agree with you.
That is an interesting point though that I've never thought of. Is like she may need to be in the roster, not like they might not even want her to be good, but like she may just need to be in a roster to fill a niche that like a certain player will play the game because they want to be a sniper,
Yeah, right.
even if the character is not like
Yeah,
officially good. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
What is 4% of the player base? Like all of those players who are playing
Right.
Widow, they wouldn't have. There's no one else for them. Like
Yeah.
Hawkeye, Hela, they don't fill that niche of a
Mhm.
true sniper. So,
Which that's a really interesting like couple
yeah,
layers down game design thing that they would not want to tell you if that's what
yeah,
it was like, look,
yeah.
she needs to be bad, but she needs to be there, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's a curtain they're not going to look behind. But a
I
curtain we will look behind.
yeah, yeah.
As we are now. Granted, this is kind of front loaded, I think, with some really heavy stuff. These first couple ones, I mean, heroes and game balance
I
are
was gonna
pretty
say
huge.
I've still
But
got something I want to go down if we can on the balance and meta health thing. If you're
oh
okay with
yeah,
that.
no, I was gonna. I have a couple more
Oh,
too.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I was just gonna say, like, the you've mentioned it, the Thor Jeff changes, like seeing heroes that are too strong, like, I don't know. I think they're trying to bring Jeff up, right? That was an example of too weak.
Hmm.
But like, yeah, I guess well, not see. I'm still I still confuse myself with what the Thor changes were really about. I know
So
that they were intending for it to be kind of just like a shift rather than a
yeah,
true like buffer and nerf, but that was one where he very clearly, in the community's eyes, went from being like fun to bad, but his actual win rate went through the roof.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
I have him later on a list of someone who's doing way better than you'd expect.
yeah, I know
And
he is. Yeah,
I Yeah, so I think the Thor and Jeff changes to me stand out as weird like examples, and I guess this is why they're a big question mark for me. Is the two reworks that they've done, because I would consider the Thor one a rework too,
Yeah.
have not been. I mean, the Jeff one did like raise his win rate quite a bit, but it really seems like it's been more them just like officially blessing a certain playstyle for a character and officially cursing another playstyle for the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
character, especially Thor, right? With Jeff, they
Right.
just deleted the old playstyle and gave him a new one. But
Right.
with Thor, it's like the other one's still there, but they like took every tool away from it that they could
Right.
and gave it to this other one. And that's weird to me. I mean, it makes sense to me if it makes sense to me from like a character identity standpoint if you have another character that's going to be coming out down the line that
Mm.
like is a little bit too
Yeah, it's gonna
similar,
do that. Right. Right.
and like maybe maybe it was a situation, this is just complete speculation, but like maybe there's a situation with Thor where they have someone who's gonna be more like his hunting down the supports brawl tank that he was before, that they're like, we need to make sure that we like, Thor has two identities here, we need to make sure we give him one because we have another one that needs to be distinct
Mm.
when that hero comes out. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like they had someone on the team just constantly say, "He's not the god of hammers." Nerf, nerf the hammer, buff the thunder. But yeah, um, yeah. My last thought on just metas, past and present, with we saw dive comp get super huge and super popular, and that was when I was the most happy with their responses, which was, okay, supports are getting killed, let's not nerf the people who are killing them, let's buff the supports so that the strategists, so that they can stand their ground. That's the best balance philosophy in my mind, is buff the weak, don't nerf the strong. And I think that was really good. I think where that started to fall off was with 2.5, which we've talked about, which is just like, all right, we're gonna like throw a stick of dynamite into this whole thing and completely make dive like far less capable, and make like poke sustain super powerful. And I think that's what's got us in the situation that we're still in now, maybe to a slightly less degree, but still, which is the Vanguard fatigue, which is not a good thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'm kind of just touching on things we've already said, but they need to be very careful with their meta manipulation tactics.
Yeah. Well, I want to wrap up the meta section by talking about like the current meta and just some interesting things I found when I was looking at where it is. Like, because we're talking state of the game. Um, this is less like meta, like state of the game, like where's rivals as a whole, and more just like what's going on right now. Because I feel like
Mm.
this season has been really weird so far. Like it's been very drastically different because Wolverine was warping everything, and then like now it's had to completely reshift after that
Yeah.
Wolverine change. But here's some things I found right now. This is all based on Rivals metadata, but over half of characters right now, 24 out of 40 characters right now, are at sub 50% win rates. I don't know if that's normal. It might be, but I
Yeah,
just
I
thought that
think
was
it
interesting.
is. Yeah.
The highest, all the highest picked are sub 50, right? Except for 5 outliers that I found. Um, and I was surprised by a few of these. So the first outlier is Rocket, which is not surprising at all. He's at
Yeah, yeah.
53.5% win rate and 27% pick rate. Okay. But then the next one was Loki. Loki's been being Loki's being picked 22% of the time.
Oh gosh.
I don't feel like I see him that often.
No, that
Maybe
pick
it's the
rate's way
summer
higher than I
skin. I
thought.
don't know.
Yeah.
But he's winning 50.61% of the time. Then you have Black Panther, who's
Yeah.
winning 51% of the time. He's being picked like 13%. Thor is above 50, which was surprising. He's being picked about 13% of the time. And then Iron Man is like 51.5, and he's being picked 12% of the time, which that Iron Man's not surprising. He's still like my new Iron Fist. I'm so
Yeah, yeah.
frustrated with
Yeah,
Iron
Iron
Man. I'm
Man
just
is
done with him.
crazy.
But what was weirder to me, or not weirder, but what was more interesting to me was to look at the bans. because it's not
Hmm.
it's not these characters that are getting banned. There's two on here that are getting banned, but um, all the bans are going to Wolverine. He's at 52%,
Yeah.
right? Which is crazy. Then you have Black Panther at 42%, which is interesting because like I don't think anything changed on Black Panther, but all of a sudden everyone on
Yeah.
Reddit just decided I hate Black Panther. I don't know if people
Well,
just got better with him in between seasons.
it's because people. I think Black Panther is their next problem hero. Because Black Panther has the fastest TTK in the game.
Right, but he
If
always did.
you,
So like why
yeah,
is he
right,
run?
but I think people are just understanding how to do it now,
Oh, okay.
and it's
Yeah, because I
becoming
guess
way more common.
he's been picked 13% of the time instead of like
Yeah,
the 3% of the time he was
right,
before.
exactly.
And he's being banned 42% of the time. So yeah, okay. Then you have Penny being banned at 17%, Emma at 16%, which I think is what keeps her under 50% win rate because she's being banned a lot. Um, Hulk at 13% and Iron Man at 9%.
Yeah,
Um, so what's interesting to me is Iron Man, other than Rocket, who doesn't get banned, people just ban Penny instead of banning Rocket.
yeah,
Um,
makes sense.
Iron Man has the highest win rate out of all these characters that are being picked a lot and above 50%, but he's the one that gets banned the least out of like the top, 5 or 6 crew.
Yeah,
He's surviving
interesting.
a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
last thing I
I
wanted to mention. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
go
go ahead.
ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I think that season three's vibe, just the vibe that I get from the community online and stuff, is that the meta is better than 2.5,
Mhm.
which is a good sign. And I think there, I mean, there's quite a bit of diversity in there. You don't see that it's Iron Man, Ultron, Human Torch, Storm, like
Right.
Flyer Squad, which is what was terrifying everybody in 2.5, of just like, oh my gosh, is this gonna? I don't know that we would have had the fear that we did if Ultron wouldn't have come out. Like if they had made every other change they did, but Ultron wasn't released as a pure flyer, I don't know that people would have been as upset as they were with what happened. But,
Yeah,
but
100%.
yeah, I think the tuning that they did there, again, like just show, like giving the thing an extra ability to deal with flyers, like making the people who can counter flyers more viable, giving them like a tighter spread, Punisher, like more damage with their flyer killer assault rifle, like that. All that kind of stuff those are all like good meta changes.
Yeah. Well, to wrap up meta stuff, I just wanted to throw like to kind of get a snapshot of what the meta is right now. I wanted to look at Rivals meta at what are the most played duelists right now, right? Because
Hmm.
the Vanguards and Strategists, it feels like they kind of stay more the same, but the Duelist roster is so huge that it like fluctuates a bunch and it changes what's going on. And I was surprised. Um,
Hmm.
so Phoenix is number one, which is not surprising. She's a new character. Everyone's trying her out. She's like 44% pick rate or something. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but then Psylocke is getting picked a lot.
Hmm.
She had kind of like totally fallen off last season because
Yeah,
of everything that happened in the nerf to her and everything.
right,
She
right.
didn't get adjusted this season, but
Yeah,
the meta changed and she's back. Squirrel Girl, which is my new like annoyance this season. She's the Iron Man
yeah,
for this season. I don't know why, but everyone decided to play her, and it's not because of the team up. Because I'm not seeing the team up with Iron Man. She's just
yeah.
everywhere. Like people just got tired and they're just like, I'm just gonna chuck nuts from the back line. I don't know.
I will say I did get killed by that team up once, and it was very annoying
Oh, I'm sure.
to watch the kill cam of her just throwing it from like just Hail Mary, and I died. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's her whole identity.
Right. And then Bucky and Spider-Man.
Yeah,
So
I've seen a lot of Bucky this season. Yeah,
yeah, he feels a lot better just because things changed. Like his
yeah,
all
that
they
damage
did to him
fall
was give him
off.
more damage fall
Right,
off,
right.
like or less damage fall off.
Yeah.
And that does feel really good. He does feel
Oh
really good.
yeah.
But also there's way less stuff that's like super far away in the sky now, so that's nice. But what I what I just wanted to point out with those five is that that's a little bit of everything role wise
Yeah.
from dual sub rules. You've got two
Yeah.
flankers and then you've got one of everything else. And
Yeah.
that is such a far cry from what we had last season.
Right.
So I'm hopeful for this season being fun as long as you can kill Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, as long as you can kill Squirrel Girl, and as long as you can keep your tanks from drinking themselves into oblivion.
All
Um,
right.
well, other things that will make the game fun are maps and game modes. So, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted to do a game for this
Okay,
because
all right.
we can't like just talk about every map all the way through.
No, no,
We've
yeah,
got
yeah,
Midtown, Sanctum Centaurum with the Doom Match stuff, Central Park, Krakoa, Araco, and Celestial Husk, right? All come in the last 7 months. Um, so let's do gameplay wise, your MVP
oh yeah.
map and your LVP map, and then we'll do aesthetic wise your MVP map and your LVP map.
Oh man,
So gameplay wise, what's your MVP?
my MVP gameplay wise, man, I think it's going to be my MVP for both. I think Central Park is my MVP
You like Central
for.
Park a lot, yeah.
I love Central Park. Yeah, I think it's my MVP for both. So I'll just cut the time short for this because I yes I love the Ratatasker payload. Super freaking cool. I love going through the like decrepit city scape stuff. I love the that last stretch where you have to push up the ramp with the two pits of death on the side and then Dracula's throne room. Like the fights in that area just get so intense and so much fun. Like from an aesthetic, like both, it's very close between Midtown and Central Park. But I think Central Park just barely wins over, and gameplay too. I love the way Central Park feels. My honorable mention, just to have one other one for gameplay, would be Araco. I really like. I've said that I'm a payload person. I really like the payload objective stuff, and I like the Ultron virus. Just that whole setup is really cool.
Yeah.
What about you?
Okay, so gameplay wise, my MVP is actually the new one that came out this season.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really like playing on this map.
man, it's fun.
Um, aesthetic wise, and I would say Araco is my runner up for gameplay. Um,
Nice.
I do really like that map gameplay wise. And then aesthetic wise, I would say Krakoa is probably my favorite aesthetic.
Yeah, not
Um,
surprised.
yeah, and like all the little lore tidbits and stuff they did with
Yeah,
that. Like
both of ours
it's
are pretty par for the course for our
it's the comic
personalities.
run that I actually read. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's yeah. So I see all the little huts, and I'm like, I know what that is. I know where that, you know. So I got excited about that.
yeah.
And then aesthetic wise, also Oraka would be my runner up too. So
Oh, yeah.
it's like second place in both. So probably it should be like overall my favorite map. But it
Yeah,
doesn't like
Araka's
quite edge out either.
it's a great map.
It
I
really is.
love fighting. I think Arako is probably the one where I love fighting in the beginning the most, though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh my goodness. That first stage is so like beautifully chaotic with just how much cover and low ground and high ground, and you've got the bridge and you've got like just so many different angles for flanks and stuff like that. It's really great map.
yeah, definitely. All right, what are our LVP maps?
uh, there are no maps in the game that I don't like. There's really not. It's so this is, I mean, I guess gameplay is Sanctum Sanctorum because I don't like
It's a
Doom
cop
Match just isn't
out.
a big deal. But it's true. There are none of these that I don't like. Um, maybe gosh, so, like aesthetically, uh dude, I honestly can't pick. I don't know. I like none of these feel right to pick. I I love the creepy gothic. I love the high fantasy of Krakoa. I love the like Siva virus destiny vibes that Araco gives me. Celestial Husk is like all. I guess Celestial Husk I'll just throw out there because because I've explored it the least, and because it is the first return to an existing like world stage, so it doesn't feel as original.
Yeah, mine are literally going to be my MVPs inverted. So I thought this was this was a weird thing about my psychology, I guess, is that gameplay wise, Celestial Husk is my favorite, and aesthetic wise, it's my least favorite. And a
Yeah.
lot of it is just because it feels like a rehash of
Yeah.
the
Right.
Clintar
Right.
map we already have. But the fact that I couldn't tell the difference between two of the three,
Yeah.
like in my head, is just kind of like, yeah, there's just a lot of wandering around on rocks with symbiotes around. Like, I don't know. I think because they advertised it as you're inside the dead body of a celestial, I was expecting something very different than
Yeah. Yeah.
in an open field that looks like Clintar, in a building that looks like Clintar.
Right.
And like if you look in the skybox, you can notice like, oh yeah, we're on a hand.
Yeah. The
You know what I mean?
celestial.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um
So what's
and
your
then
gameplay LVP?
yeah, so then gameplay wise, Krakoa is my favorite place aesthetically, but it's
Oh
my
yeah.
least
Yeah.
favorite gameplay wise. I don't know what it is about that map, but I always lose on it, and
Mm,
I just can't get it. I don't know. It even when I think part of it is just because of the, you know what? Honestly, I realize both of mine are domination, and we talked last week about how they're polar opposites on how long the walk back is.
yep. Yep.
Um,
Krakoa's long.
I really think the Krakoa walk back and like it makes it feel way swingier than other maps. Like if you have a
Yeah.
team that's not really coordinating on we're all waiting and coming back in together when we
Yeah.
have a couple of people die, it is really, really easy to just stagger the entire game and not have anything you can do about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that. Yeah. Krakoa's point, the objective is like nightmarish at times.
Hmm.
I can't. It's the cave one is the one that
The Cerebro
is.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Cerebro one is the one that's like, oh my gosh, like I just hate being on point. I never want to be on point
Yeah.
in that
Look, it's
area.
just a big open
But
death box. Like
right. But I love combat in other places
yeah.
in that stage. So,
Yeah.
but I get that. Well, we've also got a bunch of new modes that we got. And these have been super cool. We had Jeff's Winter Splash. We had the Clash of Dancing Lions. We got Doom Match. We got Clone Rumble, Brain Blast, Ultron's Battle Matrix Protocol. Like reading through all of those makes you realize. I think it's easy to forget, but it's like, dang, they've done some really creative stuff.
Hmm.
Kicking it off with like the Splatoon thing was like, oh wow, they can do that. Like introducing us to some of the cool levers that they have. If you had to do an MVP and LVP for these, what would you pick?
Oh man. I think I have to do Ultron's Battle Matrix Protocol because I spent so
You
much time
spent the
doing it.
most time with it, yeah. Yeah,
But I
yeah, yeah.
actually weirdly really liked the Clash of Dancing Lions one, even though I'm
Yeah,
not a Rocket League player, like
yeah,
not really into soccer. Like there was something about that one that was, it just felt right. I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah, what about you?
My MVP I think would be the Clash of Dancing Lions. I did really enjoy the Battle Matrix Protocol, but the time commitment kind of wrecked it for me. Like I first reveal, I didn't get any of the rewards. um, After we did our Armed and Dangerous version of it, I never played it again. It was
Wow.
just like, yeah, and I really did enjoy the gameplay of it, but it was just like a 35-minute commitment for a
Yeah.
single match. It's why I couldn't ever get into like Dota,
Yeah.
because Dota can be like a 2-hour match, and I just like don't have that kind of time for one thing.
Yeah. You've had a lot more time constraints, especially the last like since this game came out. You've had a lot more
Yeah.
time constraints than I have for sure. And that was definitely the time heavy one.
Yeah. But I can't put it as my LVP. I have to say, honestly, Clone Rumble was my LVP. That just, it didn't, like, in theory, I think the chaos sounded really fun, but gosh dang, those games were swingy and yet somehow too freaking long.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of the worst of both.
I think Clone Rumble is close to my LVP for the reasons you just mentioned. And I think it would be really easy to fix though. I think if they did domination, they just gave us
Yeah,
one
one.
and you
Yeah.
didn't play the whole three, like best of three.
Agreed. Agreed.
then it would shoot up for me. I think
Yeah.
also if they had one where everyone was literally the same character, that might be more
Yes.
fun sometimes.
I agree.
I
I
do like the
actually,
combos,
yeah.
but yeah, I was hoping for.
I would love to see, yeah, in the intro, both teams are voting, and then one character is picked. I think that'd be really
Mhm.
fun.
So I guess my actual LVP is going to be Jeff's Winter Splash,
Oh,
which is not because it wasn't good. It's just the one I think they hadn't figured out the reward system well enough for that one yet. That was the
hmm.
one that felt like I had to play it the most when I didn't want to.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
so I would like because that was back when their challenges for it were like play 4 games,
That's true.
like do 20,000 units
Yeah.
of spraying on things, and it like you could have to play that for like a couple hours every time you had challenges, and
The
I
problem
didn't want to
is,
do that.
for Jeff's winter splashes is still not one Ultron Battle Matrix protocol.
I understand, but like you had to do all the challenges. I want to say it was like for a couple weeks to get it,
Hmm.
if I remember correctly. Like it was a longer thing. The Ultron's Battle one, like it was like play 10 games, and you could just I don't know. I actually enjoyed playing that one so much more. The Jeff one was like, oh yeah, this is a fun gimmick, but I don't really like. I
Yeah,
didn't get
yeah,
into
yeah,
the
yeah,
strategy of it.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. No, no, I agree. Ultron's Battle Matrix was like more fun. Just yeah, too long for me
Yeah.
personally.
I just have to put Jeff's as the LVP one because when I look at all of these, it is the only one that I was playing to finish challenges. Like
Yeah,
like that I would have stopped playing earlier if I could have, if that makes
yeah.
sense.
No, no, I get you. I get you.
But what I do like about these is that we've seen these slow down a little bit. I think because Ultron's Battle Matrix took a ton of work, right? And they probably had everyone on the event like mode team on that for a while. So I,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see one for a while. We haven't seen one in this half season, right?
yeah.
Because now they got to start making a new thing.
Right,
But what
right.
I do like about these is that I mean these are really high effort things. Um, but they've pretty much all been hits, and like
Yeah.
at least with Jeff and the Dancing Lion ones, those can easily be yearly festival
Oh yeah.
modes that they bring back, and it looks like that's what they're intended for.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
hopefully, like kind of like the team ups, like as we go along further into the lifespan of the game, they can be working on like Battle Matrix Protocol level,
Yeah.
like really intense modes to create, and release them less frequently because they can bring back like, oh, we're doing Clone Rumble for a while, but with a
Right,
tiny
right.
twist that took us a week to develop, and
Right, right, right.
um, yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
excited to see these
excited.
come back.
I'm just excited for what they cook up for Halloween. I hope they go big. I hope they go big. Like Overwatch and Siege went so big with Halloween, and it was always the best time of the year for the game with the both with like skins and with the custom game modes. Like I hope that they do something really cool and creative with that. And I mean, shoot, I mean that could be our next one. It's only a couple months away, but
Yeah,
I guess that's quite a while though. 3 months, but who knows? We'll
yeah.
see.
I hope if they do something like that, that they'll do something similar to what Siege did. I think the Siege Halloween mode is
Yeah,
like
it's so good.
it's so good. Yeah,
It's really, really good. Yeah. Yeah. Something that totally revolutionizes. It's not played at all like the game
yeah,
itself. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
My very last super quick plug. I, I love the destructible environments. Just, yes, more, like more and want to see more cool stuff with that. Want to see more shortcuts. Want to see more like stage changing things. I feel like we haven't seen that with any of the new maps that they've added. They have a couple of them on like the release maps, like Wakanda and whatnot. But I want to see more like stage changes with this.
Hmm. Yeah, I really like the destructible environment stuff too. Unfortunately, I feel like it's not as much of the game as we expected it would be when we were. I remember our first couple episodes. We were
Yeah,
talking about how like over time, like you're gonna get like the siege meta thing where people start coming up with like holes that they all. But
yeah.
I mean,
There's a
with the time to
little bit of
kill,
that. Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit, but with the time to kill being what it is in this game, unless you're playing Widow, like you're not making a poke hole to to try to shoot
Right.
people through without them seeing you, and everything gets destructed so fast with like random things flying around, that like even if you did, you're gonna get shot almost immediately as your like wall
Yeah.
randomly
Yeah.
gets
Yeah.
hit
Yeah.
by a
Yeah.
Hulk in front of you or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure what they could do to make those more impactful to the strategy, but I just, yeah, like I want them to do something with them
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
future maps that really affect things.
I know, like Battlefield's Levolution concept was super cool, and that's like they've touched on it a little bit. It like I said with the Wakanda one and one of the Spider Island or one of the Spider Tokyo ones, where you blow up that building and everything starts collapsing there. Like there is some of that. It'd be really cool to see more like large set piece kind of like, oh wow, like now this entire route is cut off and there's another way to get through
Yeah.
that makes it more favorable for the defenders or something like that,
The New York maps, I think, are the best example of that. Like in Midtown, all the buildings getting rebuilt on
Yeah.
the last point completely changes what's
Yeah.
available to you. But
Right.
yeah, the more recent ones with like Krakoa and Araka, we didn't really see that too much.
Yeah. Cool. Well, our episode without the hero spotlight is turning into our longest potential episode yet.
No,
So
it's not. We're like an hour and a half in right now. We're good.
I'm just kidding. So moving on to Community Pulse. This is I've got some cool stuff here. So I posted two things in this and some bullet points. I posted a picture of Steam database, and I posted a picture of Steam's review page. So in this original picture I posted, Marvel Rivals is sitting at the number 8 most played game on Steam. I just kind of pulled this from like a random weekday, and that's super impressive. And actually, it gets more impressive than number 8 because 2 of the air quotes games on Steam database aren't even games. You have the source base, oh my gosh, I can't think of the word right now, engine editor, and then you have Bongo Cat, which is just basically a plugin. It's not a game at all. It's just something you leave running while you type, and a little cat plays the bongos on your keyboard. Go ahead and download that now. You'll thank me.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then you also have Banana, which is just a click trash like AFK game. So once you take those 3 out, Marvel Rivals is top 5. But wait, I opened up Steam database during this episode, and it's currently number 4 most played on Steam. Only beaten by Counter-Strike, Valve, Dota, Valve, and PUBG. So that's insanely impressive. Like,
Yeah.
Call of freaking Duty is all the way down at number 18. Like one of the biggest games in the world, like one of the biggest, most expensive money-making franchises in the world is sitting at this moment at less than half of the active player count, like right now, as are playing Marvel Rivals. That's huge. That's a really big thing to celebrate. So when people talk about game dead just because Marvel Rivals it had an all-time peak of 644,000 players on Steam, and now it's at 160, like, no, that doesn't mean anything. It's still one of the most played games in the world, and this is just Steam. This isn't considering console, where there's a huge community, and yeah.
Yeah, well, that's interesting too, now that you mention it, because when you sort by all-time peak on SteamDB,
Yeah.
Rivals ends up being 15th, like ever, right?
Yeah.
And that's behind things like Baldur's Gate 3 that broke the world,
Right.
like New World
A
that
World, which broke
was
the
like a
world.
big thing at the time,
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, Elden Ring, like those are the things that are beating it. Pal World, yeah, that's pretty cool.
But and yeah, dude, look at that. Look at the multiplayer games in there. The only competitive multiplayer games that beat it out are PUBG, Counter-Strike 2, which are still top 2, and then you have you have Dota.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else. Not COD's all time, not Apex's all time, not Overwatch 2's all like nothing. Overwatch 2 isn't even in the top 50 right now, I don't think, of like concurrent players. It's way down there. So
The Apex one is important. Like it's beating out Apex on the all time by one place. Like it just beat out Apex. But if you remember, Apex came out. I want to say it came out in 2020. It came out when everyone was stuck at home, and it came out as a hot drop where they just like announced, "Oh, by the way, we made a game and it's available right now." And like everyone in the world who was sitting at home was just like, "Oh my goodness, I have to try this." And it became like this huge viral thing overnight.
Right. Yeah.
Rivals didn't have like some big like PR stunt to get everyone to play it immediately. It was just something that was waiting to come out and came out, you know?
Right. And Apex is still huge. And sometimes it is like in the top 5. Mm-hmm. But like just that Marvel Rivals has that power to break the top 5 like in Steam is pretty crazy. I think that by itself just like says a lot. So don't ever, I guess moral of the story, numbers is just data, and data requires interpretation, but like game not dead. Don't worry about that. It's not dead. It's not dying. It's not going anywhere. Like it's in a really, really good place as far as player base goes. And that is a wonderful thing to see. Any other thoughts on that before I move on to the
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, a while back, I wrote a title for a main topic that I called Mostly Positive Marvel Rivals, because it had dipped from its very positive to mostly positive in recent reviews. And now, unfortunately, I would have to make a new title, which is Mixed Marvel Rivals. So the recent Steam reviews come out to a mixed rating, which is what that means is, if you're not familiar with the Steam review system, Steam doesn't have like a 1 through 10 or whatever review. It's just recommend, don't recommend. So mixed is essentially saying that very close to 50% of the players are split on whether they would recommend or not recommend. So as far as like review score goes, I don't find that stuff super valuable for live service games like this, unless you're going to be reviewing it every single season and coming out with something. But
especially because it basically just opens itself up to review bombing. Because if you change yours, you can change yours at any time.
Yeah, right.
Something bad happens, people change it to not agree, and then
right. And like, I know it's a really controversial thing, and I think you feel even more passionately about it than I do. But hey, Helldivers review bombing did stuff. It actually got PlayStation to change things, but that's not happening with Marvel Rivals. I think what I see most in both reading through Steam reviews, engaging on Reddit, just like watching YouTube videos, like listening to the community, there's two things that the community really is frustrated with. It's matchmaking, and it's the technical state of the game. There are I am incredibly fortunate and blessed that like I don't have to think about performance. Like I'm very unusual in the for gamers. Like I was able to budget and like do all that and buy like an extremely powerful PC. I don't have to worry about the performance related stuff. But like this game is super intensive, and it like really probably shouldn't be. Especially for something like this, a free-to-play hero shooter. Like when you consider the other stuff on the market that is dominating right now, like Counter-Strike 2 and Dota 2, which are both free-to-play competitive games, and you look at like minimum system requirements, holy crap. And just like overall stability, you can play either of those games on a freaking potato, and you just can't with Marvel Rivals. So there's a big barrier just in that.
Yeah, they're also 20 years old at this point. But
Well, no. Counter-Strike 2 is not 20 years old. That's I don't even know if it's more than 5 years
Oh,
old.
I forgot Counter-Strike 2.
Yeah.
They finally updated it. But Dota's definitely pretty old.
Yeah, Dota is pretty old.
But I
Counter-Strike
mean,
2
yeah,
came out in 2023.
I think this was the gamble they took with trying to make it look next gen and everything.
But does it really? Like, do you think that it does?
So here's what I think happened. All right, here's my speculation, game developer speculation. So their tech team decided on Unreal Engine 5, which, especially at the beginning of Unreal Engine 5, was super bloated with a whole bunch of stuff that tears down performance. But they were, making it for release right around when that was the new shiny thing, and that was selling games and getting people excited because it was Unreal Engine 5 and it can do all this terrain destruction stuff, and they wanted to add the terrain destruction, they wanted to add the portals, they wanted to do a bunch of shiny stuff that they could do with UE5. And I think you see in the art vision videos, you see them from their early style to their now more like cartoon, like clean line style, like comic book style that they've gone with. I think they probably took the fidelity down of like how, I guess what I'm saying is like their new art style maybe isn't as taxing as what they expected they were going to need at the beginning, because like the art team's making different decisions than the programming team.
Right. Yeah, so, of course.
I think there's certain things in the game that are really taxing just by nature, like the strange portals being the biggest one.
Yeah.
And UE5 might be the only reason those can exist, or it might be making that worse. I'm not sure. I don't know which one it is.
Right.
But I think they made some decisions early on where they were, at least early on, probably going for like, we want this thing to be super shiny. And then that just kind of locks them into performance issues and stuff. But I don't know. That's my thoughts on that. But
yeah. And I mean, makes sense to me. But regardless of the reason, I think it still leaves a big player base really frustrated because they're like, it doesn't look like the kind of game that you think you wouldn't be able to play. It's not like Cyberpunk 2077 where you're like, where I with a 4090 am like, can I run this game? Like just looking at gameplay, because it looks so incredible. But yeah, I optimization can happen. It can continue. They can do big changes there that I expect them to continue to work on. We see those updates again. I'm very fortunate. I'm never impacted by them because it doesn't matter for me. But like I think for the
I have a good gaming PC, but it's not like at the level of yours. But I have to play on medium. Sometimes I think I have some things on low.
Oh wow.
And I still get like times, especially more recently, it feels like it has been getting worse, where I'll be in the middle of a battle and then all of a sudden I'm at a slideshow for a little bit and then it comes back.
Throttled.
Yeah, or like my computer sounds like it's taking off and going in space. I'm like, this is a decently good gaming PC. Like, why is
Right. And that is like, that's a huge concern. But I think between that, just continuing to optimize and I mean, the matchmaking stuff, I have more to say on that in a little bit. But I think those are the two big things, negatives regarding the community. But positives, there's a ton. Like Nick said, like I said a little bit too, just the dev transparency, the dev communication, the like willingness, and not just willingness, but the evidence for the urgency that they have to make good, meaningful changes very quickly. All of that just gives this game so much positive intent, and it allows me to still bounce back from some of those negatives. I mean, I hate the competitive situation right now, but I really do. But I love this game, and so much of that comes down to what a great job the community side of things on the development team does, and it just keeps holding my trust, whether it's with the transparency or just with like I think a really good like reward system and monetization system. That's our next section, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I said it at the beginning that like on almost everything they're super quick to communicate and super like effective with their communication with the community, which is really
Yeah.
nice. My one caveat is the matchmaking situation, which
Yeah.
again feels like one of those things where they're in that spot where they don't really want to tell you what's going on with that either
Yeah.
way,
Yeah. Yeah.
whether they're doing what people are saying or not.
Yeah.
So hopefully this comp change is coming and will actually be addressing that. But being completely silent about the matchmaking thing
Yeah.
is unfortunate. Like that's definitely the one place where I've been frustrated with the
Yeah.
communication is like they I get that they probably from a business standpoint can't really
Hmm.
acknowledge it, but they need to because I mean when I looked at the Steam reviews myself, like that was the reason for all of the red ones was the
Yeah.
matchmaking,
Right.
mostly related to comp, and
Yeah.
I think they're hoping that they can fix comp and avoid having to address the engagement like thing that
Yeah.
people are speculating about. And maybe they can. And I hope that they can. I don't really care what's going on in Quick personally, just me. I don't really. We'll talk about this in our Reddit take. I don't really care what's going on in Quick Play because I'm playing Quick Play to just be able to like play characters that I want to play and
Right.
like not stress out or whatever. But I do care about what's going on in competitive when it comes to matchmaking quite a bit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So we'll get to that. We'll be talking about that in a little bit, but that all that just to say, apart from that one issue, they've been incredibly good with communication and continue to be. So
Right.
I think that's really good.
Yeah, I wonder if someday we'll get a patch and there will be one bullet point that says back end changes to matchmaking. Just like total stonewall, like black box, just like, and then everything's fixed.
Right.
And nobody knows what happened.
Queue
Suddenly there's
times
a
are
different.
longer, but everything's fixed. Yeah.
Yeah. Suddenly one of the people in the dev vision gets replaced. Not Guan Guan though. We can't have that happen.
No.
Um, but yeah, but outside of that stuff, like general sentiment for the game is great. Like people love this game and they love to love it. Like people love the skins, they love the art style, they love the characters, they love the vibes. Like there's so much I have no statistics whatsoever to back up this claim, but something that I see, I follow a lot of like game Reddit pages, and something that I see on many of the communities with the most dedicated fan bases are it's a lot of fan art, and this community has tons of fan art, which
Yeah.
like do you to break down what that means is really quite crazy that someone is like thinking about this game so much that they're willing to not only play it but to dedicate like hours of their time and their creative bandwidth to to make art. I don't know, do a podcast, like there is so much of that with this game, and you it hurts me to say it, just like I think it hurts you for Marvel Snap right now, but like if you dive into the Destiny community right now, I don't even play Destiny anymore. I haven't played it for like a year now, which is crazy for me to say because I've literally thousands of hours. It's my second most played game of all time behind World of Warcraft. But like the Destiny community is like, man, they're still making content, but they're like really unhappy with the state of the game right now. And you feel it in all of the content creation videos. It's why you have Cool Guy coming from Destiny to Marvel Rivals. It's why you have True Vanguard coming from Destiny to Marvel Rivals. Like you have, and when you watch the content creators outside of the clickbaity Marvel Rivals dead kind of stuff, like when you watch the actual content creators for the game, like they love the game. And
Yeah.
that is a really, really good metric for, I think, the community as a whole.
Yeah. I mean, this community is just like super enthusiastic. Tons of memes.
Yeah.
Like um, I think the community's in a really good spot as long as people don't get burned out by the couple things that we mentioned about matchmaking and
Right.
comp. But um, we're not. This really isn't a retrospective for the podcast itself. But I gotta say, like, I'm super excited about even just the little microcosm of the Rivals community that we've gotten on our
Yeah,
Discord and on like people's comments on Spotify
absolutely.
and stuff like that. Like, people are super enthusiastic about things.
Right.
And like it's a ton of fun. Like we get memes all the time, and
Right.
people making comments about every little random thing, and like it's super fun. So I really like what Rivals is creating when it comes to that, and hope that they can just keep it up.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, unlike Rivals itself, we still are sitting in like a 4.9 review score, which you can help to improve. Please keep helping us offset our day one big fat 1-star review bomb from anonymous nobody with no comment by leaving a review so that we can thank Night Gobbler.
Yeah, I agree.
Sebastian, do you have anything you have to say?
Hey chat, Sebastian Stan here, armed and dangerous again.
Thank you, Sebastian. Yeah, so we're going to take a break. This is a very long topic, doing a whole retrospective on 6 months of Rivals. So we're going to take a break in the middle right here and do Armed and Dangerous, and then we'll do a second half. Dude, so it had you winning at 51.5% last week, and you indeed beat me.
It should have had me winning at 50.01%, though, because that game was one of the most intense games I've ever played of Marvel
100%.
Rivals. We literally went 99-99, and you won round one, and then we went 99-99 again, and I won round two, and then we went 99-99 a third time with me winning round three. Like, that was so close.
It really was. And like, yeah, I don't know what else to say about that game. It was really fun. There were some really okay, yeah, no, this is what we're gonna say about that game.
Yeah, the bots.
We're gonna build up. Yeah, we're gonna build up. Well, we're probably not, because at some point we're gonna be playing with Discord people and there won't be as many bots.
That's true.
In our short time doing bot games, we're gonna build up knowledge on which bots are trash. And if you ever find yourself playing a custom game and you're picking bot characters, maybe we'll give you a tier list. Ultron is probably one of the worst bots that you could pick.
I was losing, dude. I was losing my cool. So I mean, you were there, you know. I was, gang, listening. I was losing my cool at Ultron. He was so useless. He was just no mobility, super slow flying. Like, the bot doesn't know how to use his get out of jail well. They don't know how to use his shield to protect himself, and then his healing, like Ultron's entire healing kit revolves around very, very strategically and quickly bouncing that drone with no cooldown from person to person and using your imperative firewall. No, not at all. And I was just dying nonstop from lack of heals.
Yeah, you had Ultron and Invisible Woman, and neither one of them really did much. Like,
although, even though both of my healers were way worse than both of yours. However, Invisible Woman kind of won me the game because she solo ulted on point and was able to stay alive long enough for us to regroup. But true. Outside of that one thing, yeah.
Yeah, there's when we get to our Reddit take at the end of the episode, there's a comment in there. It's about bots, and so there was a comment in there about how people were saying that a lot of the bots are AI is actually pretty good, except the flyers are just awful because they'll just kind of scoot over in one direction, scoot over in the other direction, and just kind of pick a direction and wiggle, and that's pretty much all they do. So your Iron Man and your Ultron were like the easiest targets I've ever had as Phoenix, to knock him out of the sky. But
meanwhile, dude, you're Venom and you're Namor.
Oh yeah. Venom and Namor tried to carry for me, but
Yeah, Venom, I was just unkillable because I would get him down. He was really good at using his shield at the last second. He was really good at he was constantly jumping with his primary attack, and he would swing out of there when he was about to die. And then when I did kill him, Rocket would freaking BRB him. And yeah.
my Luna was cracked too.
Yeah, your
She-
Luna did not miss.
No, I watched her a couple times when I was dead, and it was just like directly aimed on whoever she was
Yeah.
trying to heal. It was pretty
Oh my
great.
gosh.
Anyway, it was a fun game. You've beat me 2 times in a row now in season 3, so I really need to
Oh baby.
find something. I need to like pull a Captain America and get up all bloody and find something in me that wasn't there before. And I think I might know what it is. So
Is it
I
Spider-Man
suggest-
again?
no, it's definitely not Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
I suggest normally we give ourselves 2 vanguards, 2 duelists, 2 strategists, and then go back through.
Uh-huh.
I suggest that we leave this on any, and our nominees
my.
are from any category. We're not locked
Okay.
into 2-2-2, but we also, if you gamble too much, you might end up with 1 or 0 strategists if you don't pick one early.
Yeah, I feel like the meta here is going to be to instantly pick the first 2 strategists you get. This could be very interesting. I'm down. Yeah, let's try it.
Let's do it. All right, we're gonna start with you, Luna or Jeff.
Wow. Well, how interesting. I'm going to go with Luna.
Yeah, we just established she's
She's pretty cracked.
MVP AI bot. All right, I get Venom or Magneto.
Oh,
And
well.
that Venom was really good. So
Yeah. And your Magneto was, I think, your LVP.
yeah, are you?
Speaking of LVPs,
Yeah, you gonna take Ultron again or take Hela?
I'm. Hey, if Bot Luna is cracked, I can only assume that Bot Hela is going to have some decent aim. So let's try.
You could take Ultron and play him.
That's true. Ooh, but no, I'll go with Hela.
Okay. Hawkeye or Invisible Woman? I'll take Invisible Woman. You get Spider-Man or Iron Fist?
Dear
Which one of your
God.
least favorite people do you want?
Okay, Spider-Man requires skill though. Wow, sorry, didn't mean to flame Iron Fist. Well, that was totally unintentional. I'm so sorry.
Completely honest. That's exactly how his heart feels.
I'm gonna go with Iron Fist.
All right. I get Namor or Winter Soldier.
Ooh, do you go Bot Namor or do you play Winter Soldier?
I'm gonna play Winter Soldier.
Nice, I knew it.
I got my cat accessory. I want to see it. I'm gonna do it. All right, you get Penny Parker or Magneto.
Ooh. Okay, I'm looking at your lineup. Do I play Penny? Is that what I go for? I want to save it for some reason. Man, but neither of these are going to be very good as bots, I don't think. I feel like bot Penny must kind of suck, right? Because she's kind of like so positionally based.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna risk it. I'm gonna play bot Penny. I'm gonna bring bot Penny on the squad.
Okay, Bot Penny it is.
I'm really risking who I'm playing here.
All right, I get Squirrel Girl or Groot, and I'm going
Ooh.
Squirrel Girl. 100%.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty.
Wolverine or Ultron.
All right, I think. Do I do something weird here? Do I play Wolverine? I'm playing one of these two. I'm gonna play Ultron.
All right. Okay. I get the Thing or the Hulk.
Ooh, either of these are gonna be nasty, I feel.
Yeah, either way, I got a pretty nasty like dive brawl.
Yeah,
thing.
you do. My Hulk was really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Hulk. Okay, so you're rocking 1 Vanguard, 2 Duelists, 2 Supports right now, and your last choice is the Punisher or Squirrel Girl?
Man, all right. Okay, I don't really need any like super tight accuracy with the Punisher. And you are going to be pretty tightly grouped a lot, I feel. So I'm going to go with Squirrel Girl here.
No, not again. Okay. All right, so you got the 1-3-2 going, which is a decent team comp. I got 2 tanks, 2 duelists, 1 strategist. So here goes hoping I get another strategist. I literally have only had 1 this entire time as an option.
Yeah.
Here we go. No. Oh my goodness, this could not be worse. It's locking me into a 3 Vanguard comp. So I'm either getting Thor or the Thing. And I really don't think AI the Thing is going to be that good. Maybe before he got the other leap ability, but now that they gave him a leap into danger, I don't know if the AI is going to handle that very well.
I mean, Thor is just, I mean, on paper, good, and I don't think there's anything about his kit that's too complicated.
Yeah, I think Thor might be a good bot. So I'm gonna pick Thor. All right. It says that you're gonna win by a landslide. Also, bummer for you that you didn't take Wolverine.
Yeah, I know, right? Vanguard Buster.
It's got you at 52.69% win rate. MVP Penny, LVP Luna. It's got me with SVP Hulk and LVP Invisible Woman.
Well, my goal for this match is to play Ultron Battle Matrix Protocol and have my bot team attack your team while I keep Invisible Woman returning from spawn endlessly.
I'm gonna have to just protect her. That's gonna be my whole game plan.
I'm just going to try and kill her.
All right.
So this will be fun. We'll have a lot of 1v1s.
Yeah. Which, if that's the case, I mean, Bucky versus Ultron, I could see.
Yeah, I mean, there's some that's an interesting fight. That's an interesting fight. You can ground me.
All right. Well, there we go. Let's get back into talking season. Nope, not season. Just talking rivals in the barrel.
The whole game. Let's do it. Our next section is on cosmetics and monetization. So we got a lot of currency types. There has been some currency creep. Just to remind you, they organize it pretty well. They don't do the gross free-to-play MMO thing of just having a streak of different color coins up in the top right corner. They hide it decently and split them up. But we have lattice. We have units. We got chrono tokens. We got unstable molecules. We have costume coins. And we have accessory points. All of those are/must be purchasable, except for accessory points. It's the only thing that you can only earn through gameplay.
I am glad you said that, because that was going to be my thing I wanted to say about monetization.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just appreciate for a second that, at least for now, they just introduced this whole accessory system into the game and the accessory points thing, and it has no monetization attached to it. They make no money off of accessories.
Yeah.
At least at this point. I'm sure they'll probably sell an accessory at some point.
Yeah.
Right? They've got a giant list of a whole bunch of accessory slots on the characters that are already there. Like, they're not just going to piecemeal them, but I'm sure they'll sell accessories. I hope that they keep it, though, where they sell accessories, but they don't sell accessory points. That would be great. Just let the points be, you earn them through gameplay, you get a free one every once in a while. It's 2 weeks right now if you max them out every week, right? I think that's super cool. It's just an in-game currency for something fun that says, hey, I love this character. I've played enough to invest in them over the other characters I could have gotten accessories on. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one of the few free-to-play games where one of the few free-to-play games that has this many different currencies that I'm like, it's fine. It's segmented really well. Your chrono tokens are for the battle pass. Your unstable molecules are for the VFX. Your costume coins are, well, for the costumes that you can unlock with them. It's done really well. And you can buy chrono tokens, and you could buy the battle pass and literally pay to 100% complete it. But thankfully, they don't balance the progression around that reality, because unlocking it feels really good.
Yeah. I really have no complaints on this. As long as this is where the currency stays, I think we're at the point where these are all segmented out into different types of things well enough that I don't really feel like there's categories missing here anymore, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
if we start seeing like sort of stable molecules for like different
Yeah.
cosmetic upgrades later
Yeah.
on that are different than unstable
Deconstruct your
molecules or
unstable
whatever,
molecules. Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Add
gonna
a
get
stable molecule to a unit and create a
exactly. Then I'm gonna get pretty frustrated. But the way it is right now, like everything is kind of separated out based on what you need. They give you free bits of all of it, so it's not like a situation in a lot of mobile games where like there's things that I mean, other than Lattice for buying battle passes, which makes sense. Everything else is earnable in game, and even Lattice is earnable in battle passes. So like every couple battle passes, you can get a free one. But um, yeah, I think this is like my summary point for monetization. I'll just say it here, and we're still going to talk about a couple things, but I think overall, as long as they're always sticking to cosmetic only things like they have, and the season battle passes remain a good value, I don't really care what else they do.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a whale and it's all cosmetic. Like,
Right.
I don't really care. I'll be a little bit annoyed if this is kind of maybe the next thing to talk about, is if the frequency and cost of the little mini battle passes keeps increasing. Um, so to transition to the mini battle passes, like we had the mac and cheeks bundle first, and it was $3, and it had some things.
Yeah.
And then they gave us a bigger one with
genuinely, like the mac and cheeks one was like fairly low effort. Like there was you just got the Venom skin and the costume coin, but like clearly the best value out of that was the costume coin. Like the Venom skin was literally just an orange recolor, and the rest of it was like pretty run of the mill.
Yeah, but it was like $3. Essentially, it was $3 for a skin that would have cost you, $16, with whatever the costume coin one was.
Yeah,
because all of those were like, epic skins or whatever that would be like $16 if you bought them straight out.
Right.
Cool. Then they did the battle chest, which made it was a longer thing. It was really time gated, and so it kind of drug out over a longer period of time.
Right.
But it was.
Like,
I think
amazing skins.
It was amazing skins. It was $7 for 3 skins and a whole bunch of other stuff. Then the summer one came out now, and it was $10 instead of $7 for the same stuff that you're getting in the battle chest one. Although, I don't think any of the battle chest ones were a legendary skin, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they were. The Magneto one was.
It was? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think these ones are better than the battle chest ones, but
really? Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's still like increased in cost for really what is essentially the same thing. And I think that's just because they know like it was going to sell really well.
Yeah. There's actually a little less. This one is shorter than the battle chest.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. So it's an increase in price for one. I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like one could argue that these skins are better, or whether or not these skins are better, they are certainly more desirable from the community. And I
knew they were going to sell better.
Exactly.
And they raised the price on it.
And is that there is the question, and we won't know until we get the next one. Like, did they really do it because Luna's butt cheeks? Or is this genuinely like their new model? Are they going to be charging $10 for these things? I kind of expect that they're gonna stay this price, which I'm not happy about that. I don't know how you can like justify it when your battle pass costs that. Like when you have two things that are the same thing, but one is just shorter than the other one. Like how can you charge the same amount? Yeah, that's really odd to me. That's not to say that I don't think the battle pass is a great value, because I genuinely think it is. I think for as much weird stuff as the gaming industry has done with prices on things in general, the fact that battle passes have stayed $10 across basically every game ever is shocking. And I'm pretty happy about that.
There's a good reason for that. It's because that's the entry level thing that they're like, they have to have one thing that's a really good value compared to everything else that makes that thing even more like attractive to everyone. Like,
Yeah.
how many games have we played where we're like, oh, I'd never buy a skin, but the battle pass I'll get every single season,
Yeah.
and now they got $10 out of you every month.
Right. Right.
Rivals does it every 2 months, which makes it feel even better. But like,
Yeah.
they were going to get nothing out of you when they're selling $16 skins, and instead
Yeah.
they're getting $10 a month out of you, right?
Right. Right. Right.
But yeah, I think my only concern with their monetization stuff really has been that, like, I'm a little worried that the pattern on the mini battle passes is that they're just going to keep getting more frequent and slightly more expensive every time, and that they're like doing the frog boiling in a pot
Yeah.
thing with us, and we're not going to realize until we're like spending $20 a month on
Right.
like 4 battle passes or whatever, and we're like, wait,
Right.
where's all my money going?
Right.
Um, it's going to reach a point where, like, if they keep increasing it, I'm just going to stop getting them and get one every 2 or 3 that they release or whatever.
Yeah.
But I really like the stuff they're putting out.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see it keep getting
I
more and
know.
more. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
There's psychologically something different about a battle pass than a single skin that makes you feel like, oh, I should get
Yeah.
this. And they're definitely
It's true. Yeah.
capitalizing on that. I just don't want them to go off the deep end on capitalizing on that.
Right. 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 I a couple of the things about both the battle pass and the mini battle pass that are just really great things. The amount of free stuff that you can get in this game is crazy. I've never seen a free to play game be so generous. Like, excluding the units that you can get from the battle pass, even if you literally spent no money, you could buy premium skins in one season from just like getting all of the units from the quests and the events and stuff like that. Like, they're really good with that. The fact that it really blew my mind that Rocket and Groot were the 2 free ones. Like, how easy would it have been for them to just write off Black Panther and Adam Warlock, the recolors, and like, who can complain about free, But they gave 2 amazing skins for free. The Thor skin is free in the mini battle pass. Like, that's huge. Every single event, there's a really high quality free skin that comes with it. Like, that's something to be celebrated for sure. And my second thing, honestly, I think maybe the most important thing to me out of all of these individual points, no freaking maybe not no, but as long as you're buying it, no FOMO on battle passes. That is, I have preached this with every single game I've ever played. I hate how, like, it creates a toxic relationship between me and a game where I'm like, I really want to play something else right now. I'm just like not in the mood to play this game, but gosh dang it, I have 20 more levels to grind on this battle pass and I have to do it because it ends in 5 days, Like, I'm so glad, even though I haven't had that problem with Rivals and I finished it every single time, like, I'm glad that I have the option. And there will come a day where I don't have time. I know it's going to happen, and I will know that my battle pass is still there waiting for me.
I will say there is one aspect of this that I've seen come up a lot from people this season, of people being confused about it. So I want to clarify something about how the going back and finishing previous battle passes works, but also this is kind of my one critique of how they're doing battle passes. So people have been noticing that when you go back to an old battle pass, it'll still show the earn, like if you're trying to finish page 9 or something of a battle pass that you already owned in a new season, if you go to page 9 at the beginning of the season, it'll say earn 7,000 chrono tokens to unlock this page on the old battle pass. So that's led to a lot of confusion from people thinking that they have to pay 7,000 chrono tokens to unlock the one thing that they have left on page 9 or whatever. You don't, but you do still have to earn all of the tokens that it would take to get to that page in this season to be able to buy the thing on that page. I don't think that makes any sense from a trying to avoid FOMO kind of thing, because what you're saying is like, yeah, you can finish the battle pass, in future seasons, but you can only do that once you've played enough in the new season to have finished the new season's battle pass, which granted may be how most people end up using this system, But if you're someone who, let's say, only has like an hour or two to play every week, this system allows you to make the idea, like make the decision of, you know what, I'm only going to buy a battle pass every 3 or 4 seasons and take 3 or 4 seasons to finish it, right? If you're playing a couple hours a week and you're not going to be able to get all the way to the end, except that you can't, because once you get past page 3 or 4, every season you're going to start over at needing to get 3,000 chrono tokens to get to that page. And if you're only playing a couple hours, you're never going to get there. So you're going to like,
I
the
wonder if
only
that's a
way that you
mistake.
can,
What if that's
it
like
might
an
be.
oversight? Yeah.
It might have been an oversight because it
that's
doesn't make
really
any
weird.
sense.
No, that makes no sense at all.
There's no real like benefit for them to do that other than saying, oh, well, if you want to finish your old battle passes, you got to commit to playing a bunch this season.
Yeah.
But that's just so different than how they treat literally everything else.
Yeah.
That I think that's just an oversight, and I'm hoping that we'll see that disappear in season 4 or in a patch or something.
Yeah.
But it's been something I've been seeing circulating around, and it doesn't drive well for me.
No. That's actually like quite awful. I haven't. This is the first I'm hearing of it. I was totally unaware of that. But everything about that just screams to me like, oh, oops, like we didn't calculate something correctly when it comes to like we didn't intend for this to reset every time, but like internally it makes sense for that timer to just be like active by default.
Right, the battle pass
like,
is set up where you have to earn this many to get to this stage.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be for previous season battle passes.
No, 100%. You should just be able to go. It should be like Helldivers and Halo, which are crazily the only 2 other games I know of that do no FOMO battle passes, where you have like your currency is locked to that battle pass, but it's just bookmarked. So once you go to that battle pass, if you earned 300 currency 5 years ago, when you go back to that battle pass, you have 300 currency to spend. Like, you know, I hope that they fix that. I hope that it is a fix because it's broken and not a change that they have to make because they made a bad decision.
Right. I mean, if it was a different development team, or I guess let's say a different monetization team, I would think that this is on purpose.
Yeah, right.
But with Rivals, it doesn't match with how they do anything else. So I think it was just an oversight. But
last thing I have to say about cosmetics and monetizations: skins are expensive. EA ruined everything. Let's just move on from that. Outside of the cost, though, I mean, the art team is so good. There's a couple. There's a couple. You know, the honestly, the MCU ones. I mentioned it this episode. I've mentioned it. We both mentioned it a couple times in past episodes. Not very interesting to me. But all of their like true from the ground up built skins are absolutely incredible. Like the art team is so good. You get your money's worth with these. I mean, well, again, the price is a little outrageous,
relatively speaking.
Yes, but when you think about what you get in Apex for buying a legendary skin versus what you get in Marvel Rivals for buying a legendary skin, like you are getting something really, really cool and really special. My only 2 gripes with this really are, I won't gripe too hard about the recolors. I kind of wish that there was a different way they did it regarding how you pay for it. More than that, though, I just wish they went harder with it. I imagine that the development time it takes to do a recolor is like minutes. And like people want more of them. Like this is money that's not being spent, not mainly because it doesn't feel like a good value, but because there's just like not enough. So I'd like to see more recolors. And then finally, I've already made my thoughts known last episode on the VFX. I think the concept is really cool. I will never buy one so long as I am the only one who can see it. I think that just kind of ruins it for me. But
just funny because you told me that I should get the one.
If you like it, you should, because it's really cool. But like because they are well designed and they look really cool. So if you don't care, if you can transcend having other people see the money that you spent, which is a good thing, like fine, like go for it. I just the self-expressiveness of cosmetics in games is a big deal to me. So I think that the VFX thing, like I think you and I came up with the perfect solution. Just give me a box in the settings to check that says I want my game to look more Diarrhea Christmas lightsy so that I can experience other people's VFX.
That was going to be my note on this is like, I'm going to stand by my 2 thoughts on the VFX thing, which is legendary skins shouldn't need a separate unlock for an ultimate VFX. Like the whole point of the legendary skin is that you're getting different effects added on. Like, I don't understand why we're segmenting this. Maybe if it was like a epic skin and it like didn't launch with that ultimate VFX and you're adding it in later, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But as a legendary skin coming out and the VFX is coming out on launch with it, like just it's part of the skin. Just make it part of the skin. And then the other one is that there just needs to be a setting option to say like, let me see other people on my team's VFX or other people on both teams' VFX. Yeah. Let people opt into it or let people opt out of it. I don't care which way you do, but yeah, I think all of the unstable molecule stuff is in a spot for me where like they are giving us some in the battle pass now, and in the event we got some too. No, it's in the mini battle pass. I'm gonna use unstable molecules that I get from other sources. I'm never gonna buy unstable molecules. Like
no,
on principle, like I don't really want them to be selling me a reskin of something that I already have or a part of something that I already bought. So these are probably the most like seriously guys of all the monetization stuff that they've done for me. But they've also like given us enough so far that like because there aren't a ton of skins that have recolors or ultimate effects yet,
right?
I almost have the capability to get everything that I want just free, which I know will not be the case. It will escalate over time.
Right.
And so I'm still going to be saving these up when there's not something that I'm like, I need to have this. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that.
I was trying to find, Google's not giving me a quick answer. How many unstable molecules do you get in the battle pass? Because I don't actually know.
You get 600, which is enough for
which
one
is a
thing.
recolor. Yeah.
Or
a recolor
or
or
an
a
ultimate
VFX.
VFX.
Yeah.
And the summer one is giving me 400. So like I got both the battle pass and the summer special, right? And so I'm gonna almost have enough for both.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, yep. As long as I keep getting them for free, maybe who knows? Maybe I'll lighten up since I'm not paying any more than I already am for the battle passes and stuff. Like maybe I will get a VFX if Magic gets a cool one with Phoenix.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I know, right? I know.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All right, I can't buy the bubble wave butterflies yet. I gotta wait and see what happens next week.
Oh man, I just yeah. Cool. Well, let's move on. Let's get through technical state and UX stuff. I don't have too much to say about this that I haven't already said. Optimization was one of the community callouts, so I think right now that's just going to remain my feedback on that. Like I hope and trust that the devs are going to continue to work that out. I have never had a disconnect from this game ever, outside of my own outage. So server stability for me has been really nice. Nick is raising his hand, very melancholy.
Okay, so this is somewhere between optimization and bugs and server stability, but this is my thing. I had my first GPU crash in comp this week.
Oh.
Right when the game loaded in, right? So I was loading into the character select screen, and I saw the character select screen for half a second, then the GPU crashed. And then I got the game running again, and it wouldn't let me join the game again. It had been too long. And it penalized me. And I lost.
Oh no.
I lost like 25 rank points for that. I now understand why people who are more prone to these are really, really frustrated.
Yeah,
because that was just one time, but now I'm terrified that every time I load into comp, I'm just going to lose 25 points for no reason.
Right. You know it can happen.
Okay. Rivals dev team. or a rival's like anti-cheat team. If you
Yeah.
know that the game closed due to a GPU crash, and I highly suspect you do,
Yeah.
because you
We
have
know you know.
metrics for bug fixing's sake. You have metrics about when a GPU crashes. I guarantee you my computer is sending you a whole bunch of information about exactly what just happened. Don't penalize the player for that if you know it was a GPU crash. It's not worth alienating your players who are just trying to play comp in order to make sure that some guy can't create a script to crash his own GPU to avoid losing rank points. Like, I know from a security standpoint that's what you're probably worried about, is like people exploiting. If you give any sort of way to leave a ranked game without taking points away from someone, that like someone's going to find a way to make a script to do that on purpose and be able to leave ranked games whenever they want and not be penalized. I get that. And I'm sure it'll happen, but then like go after that guy when you see it. Like, for some reason, 95% of your games when you're about to lose, your GPU crashes. Go after that guy. Like, you have the data to do that kind of stuff. Don't penalize people for crashes. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they've just with their all of their back end stuff, whether it's like technical or balance, they've shown how many levers they have, how much fine tuning they can do. Like you could make this super gray with how you do it and be like, okay, if you're at this point in the match and you have a GPU crash, like for sure, just like nothing happens to you. It's in the first like 30 seconds or whatever, like no problem. If you're a little bit later, then I guess the biggest thing is, why can't you just reconnect for the entire time that the game is going? Like that's
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
That's really weird. Let's just say it's a 10-minute game and you disconnect for like 9 minutes for some reason. Let me join back in the 10-minute as my team loses and I lose points, or they win and I just get nothing. I just like negate I negate the loss that I would have. There's so many different ways they could do this rather than having, I feel like they took a really blunt, just like
Right.
hammer on nail approach to that.
Which is
and
very uncharacteristic for them for everything else. And so that's why I'm just like, you got to fix that there, because like people shouldn't be afraid to join a comp game because like your server or the computer might blow up because of something in your code, and then I'm going to lose my rank because of it. It's just kind of dumb.
Yeah,
the other thing. Oh, go ahead.
I think they're just sitting with the terror of like abandoners. There is like that really kills games, and so they're just choosing to be super hard, and they're calculating the collateral damage as being worth it, I assume.
Yeah, and I'm just saying you don't need to. Like,
I agree.
You can at least mitigate that a little bit,
Yeah.
The only other thing I'll say about server stability and stuff, recently I've had some rubber banding, which is weird. I've never had that before, but I've had like times where I'm shooting and stuff, and then I notice like, oh, I'm not hitting anything, even though it looks like I am, and then I'm like teleported to somewhere completely different than where I thought I was. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Like, that never really happened until a couple weeks ago, but yeah, I don't know. Stability. Let's
we can do it. UI and UX. I mean, man, we've seen amazing improvements with UI with this last update. Truly incredible. Peak update, a 10 out of 10. I have nothing else that's really bothering me, honestly, with this. Both UI and UX. It's in a really good place.
Yeah, they've made 3 really big UI changes since the game came out that, like, for me, I'm still like really happy about every time I see them, which was the proficiency icons on the hero, on the main hero page. The most recent like new match ending stat screen progression thing was that's the biggest one for sure. And then the custom stats on the career page that they added has been nice too. It's not a big deal, but it's just fun.
See how many MVPs, top damage, whatever.
Yeah, I think their UI is fantastic. It's really a strength in this game for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, speaking of strengths, we're kind of snowballing into the end here. We got four more things: the good, the bad, looking ahead, and some personal reflections. So, uh, you know, the good. We've talked a lot about the. Most of the game is good. Most of what Marvel Rivals does, they do really really well. I think just some highlights from the start of the game to now. Some of Marvel Rivals' top strengths. Uh, their art design team, their hero design team. It's just so good. Like there is no doubt that Rivals would not be in the place that it is now without the incredible art design team just like knocking it out of the park with every single one of these heroes except for Wolverine. He's the tax that had to be paid. I don't know why they made him so freaking weird looking, but can't win them all. But pretty much everybody else looks really really cool. The world looks really really cool. All the heroes play super well. They lean into their hero fantasy as well as they can without being too one note. I remember when the game was first being previewed, one of the critiques that I saw from a really, really popular YouTuber was he was saying like when was like Gamma ever a big part of the Hulk? Like the Hulk is all about smash. It's like, so what do you want? You want W shift spacebar and left click? Like you want to just like hit stuff? Like he needs some other things. I think they've done a really good job of finding the balance there. And yeah, that's like two things. I'll just list one more is of course just the devs and everything that they've been doing to be honest and transparent and communicative with all of the reasons behind their balanced decisions and what's coming up next and what they're hearing and what they're doing about it. That those three things alone are making this game what it is.
Yeah, I think also just to add to some of that, I think the style, like we talked about their art team being really good, but
yeah,
this game has such a like, I don't know, like just such a style to it that is really cohesive. It really fits it really well. I just love it. Like,
yeah, it's that
I think
crystalline energy
the
vibe
thing they were
that
talking about in the
mm-hmm.
art vision. I think the other big thing has been their commitment to free to play gameplay. They didn't have to do that.
Gosh.
Their biggest competitor at the time had not been doing that.
Yeah.
I know part of
all
the
of
reason
their
they
competitors, dude.
Yeah.
Like
I know
in Siege you got to buy them, in Overwatch you got to buy them, in Apex you got to buy them, like crazy.
Yeah, and I know part of the reason was to like draw people over to this game, right, by having it open. But it really fits Marvel a lot better. Like there's some games where I want to be slowly unlocking new characters and going, oh, I wonder what they're like. But Marvel, like you want to just be able to jump in and play who you want to play. Like you want to be like, I want to be Doctor Strange. I want to be Iron Man.
Right.
I think that was a really good move, and I appreciate that they've continued it. But like the best things with Rivals right now for me are just like constant updates with really engaging changes all the time. Like every time there's a balance patch or a new character or a new map, like I never feel bored in this game, which is crazy with how much time I've put into it in the last 7 months. Like there's always like a new character I'm trying to get good with, or some new skin that just came out that makes me think about a character I haven't played. Even if I don't get the skin, it's just like, oh yeah, that character exists. Like, oh, I should try them again. There's the event modes have all been super fun. Like they found a really good way to just kind of always keep you interested in one thing or another. And I think even down to little things like I think they maybe missed we didn't talk about this earlier, but I think they maybe missed on the chrono token rebalancing for this half season. I don't think that the way that you get chrono tokens right now feels quite right with the dailies gone and everything.
Yeah.
But they did like kind of make you have a better feeling daily progression thing of like now most of the games you play in a week because of the accessory point system like feel like you're doing something.
Right.
And then they made all the other things that are happening over time way more visible with the proficiency showing up at the end and everything. So like it feels way better now on a moment to moment where every game I feel like something happened in the whole like meta progression of things. And
Yeah.
they're doing all that without having any gameplay related to the meta progression stuff. Like
Right.
I'm
Right.
never like close to unlocking a hero or anything like
Yeah.
that. And it
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
feels like there's stuff I want to go for. So yeah,
100%.
that's how I'm feeling on the good of things. How about for you?
Cool.
What's the bad? What's code red
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah. So I made two categories for myself: code red and code yellow. Code red for me is competitive. Competitive is awful. I hate it. I don't want to play it, and I am like, I want to play competitive in this game. I really do. I want this. Um, I've gone really hard with competitive in two games: Destiny, where I solo carried myself to the highest rank, which was also hell. um, and Siege, where at least initially, where I was like extremely sweaty, like really trying to climb ranks, worried about my KD all the time, uh, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was
I
super fun to play with.
Wow, thanks. Um, I I want to engage with Marvel Rivals in that way, in the sense that I want to climb. I want to see how high I can get. I want to see what my rank should be. But I do not want to play competitive with what matchmaking is like right now. Playing 10 games, I said this in the last episode, playing 10 games and losing 6, and like I I mean, this is gonna sound, arrogant, but like, and it's clearly not my fault. Like, I'm not the reason why we lost. Uh, um, like, I know I shouldn't be stuck in freaking bronze. Like, and yet I am losing more than I'm winning, and it's because of the horrible way that they are doing ranked placement stuff. Like, that needs to stop, or it's not just ruining my experience. Like Nick said, him reading the Steam reviews, it is the number one reason why people are not recommending this game to people. And if people are not recommending this game to people, we're going to have a serious problem. So that's just the one thing that I'm going to go super critical on for the the devs, whoever's in charge of this kind of stuff. Like, you've got to fix this.
Yeah, so I would put the reality of matchmaking probably as a code yellow for me, but the community perception of matchmaking is like deep red. And what I mean by that is like what we talked about with the reviews and everything like that. Like I think in reality, the truth of how matchmaking work probably isn't as bad as people think it is, but it's
Oh,
been the
wow.
one place that they haven't communicated well, and by well I mean really at all. And it's tied to such a core part of the enjoyment of the game that it really needs to be addressed. Because I think the matchmaking could be, in reality, could be like just slightly bad, but people are constantly tilted going into things because they feel like all of their matchmaking is always against them. It
Yeah.
can't always be against everyone at all times. Like the reality of things is it can't be. But
Yeah.
you go into games and people are already super angry already. Like immediately you lose the first fight and people are like, "Oh, this is another game that the matchmaking gods just like decided I'm going to lose." And people decide that super early in the game.
Yeah.
Um and then they check out or they start throwing
Right.
or they
Right.
whatever, even if they're going to get penalized. Like if you've got a large enough amount of people angry enough about competitive stuff that they're okay taking the penalty to leave, like that's a big problem. And
Yeah.
I see that a lot. And so I think that's something that they've said they've got some competitive thing coming in 3.5 to address people's concerns, so hopefully that's a hit. But I think they really need to address it, even and probably especially if the engagement matchmaking thing isn't even really true in comp, because whether
Yeah.
it's true in comp or not, like it, people think that they're
Right.
there, and
If
yeah,
it wasn't true, I think they would have said so already. I think that's really one of the most telling things, is like, if you are if you are innocent, you show the evidence that you are. You don't not say anything about it. like when it comes to something like this, when your entire community is coming against you to say something, like I will disagree with you that I don't think matchmaking is kind of bad. I think there's
No, I didn't
never
say
been a
that.
game.
I didn't
Huh?
say that at all. I didn't say that at all.
Well, you were saying
I
it was in
said
yellow for you.
I'm saying that I think that people's perception of matchmaking makes it way worse than it
Oh
probably
yeah,
really is
yeah.
in reality. I didn't say that matchmaking isn't bad in reality. I'm saying
Yeah.
like
No, I meant to say I think I said that bad. I like it's not as
yeah.
bad as it's perceived to be. I
I'm
think
saying
it
that
is really terrible.
if everyone thought it was okay, it probably wouldn't be that bad. That's all I'm saying. It's not
Right,
like
right. Whereas for me, like I've never had this bad of an experience in a competitive game
I
ever,
haven't either.
which makes me, which like again, all things being equal, it makes me think that like it's gotta be like primarily the matchmaking.
Yeah, I guess what I'm this is a very thin distinction we're trying to make here. These are the kind of arguments you and me have all the time. I'm saying like okay, so what I'm saying is the community is talking about matchmaking being a 100% bad problem.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying that it's maybe 30 or 40%. I'm saying it's
Right, right.
probably 80 in reality,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
people are
Yeah,
psyching
the extra
themselves up like
20,
they
right.
always do to create
Yeah,
that extra 20. So I'm
right,
saying
right.
they need to address it as if it's 100%, even if what they're seeing on their internal data is that it's not really that bad and people are making a bunch of stuff up. I
Yeah, yeah.
100% believe that human psychology is likely to make it seem way worse to
Yeah,
them
worse.
than it really
Right,
is.
right,
That's pretty much how
right.
it always works.
Yeah,
But they need to address it not based on their data. They need to address it based on the community reaction because that's
right,
what's going to matter for them.
right. No,
That's all I'm saying. It
I
is
agree.
bad. I know it's bad. I'm not saying it's not bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess just the other thing, optimization, like again for me, I know that that's a huge one for the community. My code yellows are there's been and some of it I'm sure has to do, if not most of it has to do with what you're talking about. Like there is unfortunately a lot of toxicity. I think a lot of it does come from players just being very frustrated with not being able to make the progress that they want to be able to, that they feel like they should be able to, that they've experienced in other games, things like that. And so they get really frustrated and they think, hey, if I was plat in Overwatch, why am I bronze in Marvel
Right.
Rivals? It
Yeah.
must be everybody else. You know, that's a conclusion that human psychology people come to that is not accurate, but it makes, it makes some really big problems in the community, which is a shame because I think this game is very accessible to
Mhm.
people and is going to be a lot of people's first dip into the competitive hero shooter environment. And it sucks that like if like genuinely if I really wanted my wife to play, I'd have her mute chat because like
Yeah.
I wouldn't want her to do bad, not perform well and just have some butthole on the other team or on our team flaming her. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that constant like feeling related to the matchmaking thing has made it like trickle down into the places that shouldn't be stressful. Like it's one thing if you're tilted in comp, but like I've seen so many
oh
people
yeah.
get so angry in quick play
Yeah,
about people
yeah.
playing something unoptimized. Like not even like everyone's playing duelists and no one will switch. Like I can get that sometimes. But like
Yeah, yeah.
we're playing 2-2-2 and someone just isn't pulling their weight. Like I've had times where I'm learning characters and people are just like, you should never play that character. Like
Yeah.
uninstall. And like, dude, I'm in quick play. Where am I supposed to learn the character if I'm not allowed to play him in quick play? Like, just
Yeah.
shut up. Like,
Right, right.
and people just like they're like, go play practice in AI, which I just saw a Reddit post yesterday that had a whole bunch of people yelling at some guy because his Reddit post was about why is everyone in practice versus AI so bad? Like, why can't you play it? Like, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
like literally taking that toxicity from comp down to quick play, and then they don't even keep it in quick play.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like down where people are
Right.
literally probably just trying to farm achievements of
Yeah.
like, oh, I need to get 3 kills with my Wolverine or whatever. I'm gonna do a whole bunch
Yeah,
of
yeah,
dumb
yeah,
stuff to
yeah.
try to make that happen.
Right,
And
right.
people are making like massively overconfident plays because they're up against bots or whatever. And like
Yeah,
people are flaming people in practice versus AI for not
right.
being good enough. It's just insane. Like,
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I mentioned bots. I'll kind of just like save that for the Reddit take, but I don't like bots in quick play, and we'll talk more about it. Did you have anything else, Code Red? I kind of took that whole thing. Yeah, that's
no,
pretty
my
much.
thing is just the matchmaking thing.
Yep.
My only Code Yellow really is just like the balance philosophy. Like,
Oh yeah.
I love some of their balance philosophy, but then the it's just the meta shaping via balance thing that we were talking about. Like 2.5 was not fun. We've talked about all this at this point. This season's been better, so I think they're addressing it. And the fact that they addressed Wolverine within a week is a big W. But releasing Wolverine's team up like that was a big L. So it was just one of those, like, even there, I'm like, all right, we're still in the growing pains of balance stuff. But
yeah,
that's all I got.
But looking ahead, our second to last category, I expect that it's going to continue to get better. You know, there hasn't been anything like absolutely crazy. You know, we've made a lot of comments about. I think the closest they got was with Thor, just like reworking a kit. You know, Jeff and Thor, but much more, in my opinion, Thor. Jeff, they just like gave a very. They went from one interesting play style that was unintended to an intentional interesting play style. Thor, they just kind of like broke the fun of him, in my opinion. But I expect that they're going to continue to improve with that kind of stuff. I expect it seems impossible to me, but I trust that they're going to do a good job with the new season every 2 months.
Yeah, I think so too.
I can't believe it, but they haven't shown any slippage, you know. So I'm excited for that, and I think Marvel Rivals has a really strong future. So, yeah. Anything expectation wise?
If we're talking about expectations as in like predictions, I think we're going to see less frequent event modes. But like bigger ones, kind of like the Ultron thing, not like that kind of thing, because that was a very unique thing. But I think if they are going to slow down somewhere with the increased pace, it's going to be taking people off of the event mode thing and spreading them out on other things, because we had a lot of them really early on. But yeah, I would expect that we will see like a Halloween event that has a game mode that they reuse every year. But I think that's probably the extent. I was a little surprised we didn't see a summer one yet. Because this will be the first season, unless they do something in the second half, this will be the first season where we didn't get a game mode. But that's probably really the cost of the shorter seasons.
Which, all things considered, that's not a huge one, you know.
No. I mean, it's not core to the core part of the game.
Exactly.
Right? So
yeah.
I do. If I'm going to make a prediction, I also do think we're going to just see more and more of the little mini battle passes. But I hope that it's not too frequent, and I hope that it doesn't keep increasing in price. I'm hoping that
season every month.
I know.
Instead of spending $10 for a hero, you spend $10 for a mini battle pass.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you.
What do I want? I think right now the biggest thing I want is them to tweak the chrono token acquisition again. In season 4, I think I liked what they did. I like the weeklies where you can. Obviously, the weekly changes I think were just great. Here they all are. It's nice to actually see how many weeks there are in a battle pass. Just straight up, like, we're not wondering when season 4 is now. Like, we know, like 3.5 is here and 4 is here. That's really nice. And I like that, you know, if you don't finish it in week 1, you can finish it in week 2. You just have to finish the week 1s for, like, they've done that in a lot of other games. It was a good idea, better than how they did weeklies last season. I just feel like now it's very chunky, like how the battle pass 100%. Progress comes. I just find myself waiting for Wednesday or Thursday or whenever the week reset is, and then that day I get to unlock like an entire page. And then I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm waiting until next week now. So I think they need to have more of them spread out that are not on the weekly challenges, and maybe bring dailies back. I actually kind of liked those.
Yep. I agree with everything you said. I think the only other thing that I have to add is I really hope they find a way to balance out the roster. Like, be the first hero shooter to do it. Be the first hero shooter to not have twice as many duelists as as vanguards and strategists combined. Like I know that duelists are the flashiest players. They're the ones that grab the like the highest population of people main duelists. I get that. But we've seen the 2 times where the game was starting to dip into some unhealthy places was when strategists were really upset and when vanguards were really upset. Are really upset. Like we need good, not just balance, but like we need options. We need them to show that like do something crazy. Give us a vanguard strategist season, like and do it a couple times. Like I think that's really, really important.
Yeah, I think vanguards in particular like really benefit from variety.
Yeah.
Partially because they feel like you're picking them a lot to kind of counter what's going on the enemy team. Like based on how the damage is coming in, you need different types of vanguards and stuff.
Right.
But like, I don't know if it's just a personal thing, but when I look at the vanguard roster when I'm picking, like I have never found one that I'm like, other than maybe Emma, because she plays a lot more like a brawler duelist kind of thing,
right.
than
Which is why she's
vanguard.
my favorite.
Like I've never found one that I'm like, oh, I just want to play this character so much. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna main this vanguard. My vanguard play has always been very like I'm gonna pick based on what's going on in the game or what my team comp is. But like I'm not like super excited about any of them in particular.
Right. Which is weird because I agree with you. And that's weird for me because like in Overwatch 2, I was a Vanguard main and I like always wanted to play Vanguard. And I think you did too. Like you were a ball main, which was tank. And like all I wanted to do was play Ramatra. And if I wasn't going to play Ramatra, I was going to play Doomfist. And if I wasn't going to play Doomfist, I was going to play Roadhog. And if like there were so many different diverse options that all had really unique play styles and stuff. So yeah, I don't mean for this to turn into like Vanguard not fun, because that's not true. But like basically, yeah, just more diversity, more play style diversity specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, give us more than just like big person, large health pool, like distract enemies.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking what are we excited for coming up, like mine are extremely simple and obvious. It's just characters every month and whatever the new ranked thing is. Like I'm just excited for honestly, it's just all the stuff that they've been doing that we've been talking about being good. Like I'm happy with it. Just keep doing it.
The only other thing that I'll add to that is I hope that we continue to see, I meant to plug this in the community part, but I'll just talk about it now. I hope we could just continue to see the esport side grow in such a way that we get to like Overwatch levels of like having community events at centers and like having Overwatch League tournaments broadcasted and things like that. Like it was so much fun going to the esports stuff with you and our friends and stuff. I hope we get to do more of that.
We could go to Guangzhou, China, but it's a little far away.
They did host one there.
And their first for their mid-season thing, their first in-person one, which is cool. I've appreciated how they've handled esports because they started slow. They started just by doing a tournament or two, and then they kind of started to say like, okay, now we're going to do a season, like a league kind of deal. As they saw the interest was actually there. Whereas, like, not to throw shade at Blizzard again, and actually it really worked for them at the time. It just didn't work, like, long term. But at the beginning, like, they were just like, yeah, we're going to make Overwatch 2, like, the first esport that's, like, a sport.
Right.
Everyone
watches.
watches.
We're going to sell out the Staples Center.
And we're going to build stadiums, and we're going to pay, a bunch of money for teams and whatever. And they just went super big, super fast. I appreciate that the Rivals has kind of, like, let it grow as it's actually had the interest, and I think it seems like it's doing really well. I haven't had time to engage with Ignite very much, but I'm really glad that it exists, and I'm and I'm definitely like expecting to tune in for the finals whenever they happen. Like I want to be involved. I just don't have the time to like watch all of them.
I actually that was one of my main topic ideas was for both of us to watch the finals and like have notes on what we
that'd be
learned
fun.
from watching the pro players. Yeah. All right. Well, closing it out with just some personal reflections. How we feeling? How you feeling about the podcast? About, I mean, I think this is more just about like what we've been doing and how we're engaging and stuff. Like, I like this has been really fun. I was nervous at the beginning, just of not because of anything that we were doing or not doing, but just because I know my tendency to like burn out of stuff. And it's been super fun. Like I don't think there's been another game that we've played that we could have like both really done this with. Like, I'm not sure that we missed, like, there are obviously we could have made a podcast for like any game at all and like, you know, tried to do it, but I don't think there's been one that would have worked as well as this has. And I think that's really cool. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that like I don't have to. I think we both, when we were discussing starting this podcast, we were both on the same page of like not wanting to be like not wanting negativity to be a big part of our thing, just because we just don't want to do that in our like creative endeavors. And like I'm really glad that I haven't had to try to not be, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really glad that I haven't had to like fake it. My excitement about the game, about what's going on, is genuine. I can be critical about stuff like matchmaking, like some of the balance decisions, and it doesn't feel poisonous.
Yeah. I know, like, I've listened to podcasts for other games where um the game has been in a darker place, and
Yeah.
like the community sentiment has been very like, come on, complain with us kind of deal. And
Yeah.
like those podcast hosts like have a really hard line to walk because they're always trying to be honest and stuff. But like, people, even if they like slightly insinuate that something isn't awful,
Yeah.
people will just be like, "Oh, well, you're just chill because you want to have the partner program and you want to
Right.
stay in the whatever, you know." And like, I mean, we're not in a partner program, and they give us nothing, so we don't have to worry about that right now. But like,
And we still are like negative. Our balance is still negative. We have not made one penny off of this.
no, but I've really appreciated that like Rivals is in a good enough place and people like it enough that like, and the dev team is upstanding enough. I don't know what the term would be for that.
No,
That like,
feels right.
I've never had to feel like anything I say is going to come across as like trying to put a good spin on things. Like,
Right.
we've been able to just tell the truth and
We not
have it
glazing,
be
as
received
the
that way,
kids
which
say.
is nice.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about what we're doing here still, and it's exciting to be at 25 episodes. Like, next week will be half a year, which is cool.
I know that's unreal too. It's wild to think.
For having done that, which, I mean, I know like in the grand scheme of podcasts is not very long, but for us, like, it, you know, it feels long for something that we're doing together, and like,
For sure.
to not be fatigued and like, okay, how long do I have to do this? Like,
Right.
Yeah. Like, I have the like,
strategy.
I'm excited to see like what comes of this, you know. So
Yep. Yeah. And hopefully we can find, not even because I want to grow like our numbers, and I mean, I sure, yeah, it'd be great to make some money and like grow some numbers and things like that. But like, I hope that we can continue to like expand the community and reach more people and make new friends and do fun events in game and stuff. Like, I'm excited for our Armed and Dangerous thing that maybe we can kick off next week. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that for me, like the growth stuff right now, like the biggest thing for me would be for us to be able to get to a point where we could do things like scrim matches and like expect that we'll have full teams on both sides, and do Armed and Dangerous every week and expect that we'll have full teams on both sides, and like be able to do fun community stuff. I that's probably my biggest. I think I said this earlier, maybe I haven't. No, I was going to, and I didn't have the chance to say it, but like, I think my biggest thing that I'm unhappy with about the podcast right now is that like, we do have a good Discord going, and I haven't really engaged with it much recently. Like I like answering messages and stuff, but like for a few weeks we were playing with people on the server pretty regularly, and it's kind of not happened recently, just with life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no,
I
it's
know
tough to keep
I have
up.
to give myself some slack for a few months, but like once I'm moved and everything, I really want to like start to try to create more community there.
Yeah. Well, to prevent this from being not only our longest made topic, but also
can't.
our longest episode.
It's
Can I
about
keep
to
saying
be.
it? No, stop. Reddit take of the week. Let's go. All right, this is not a drill. It's actually going to be our longest episode, and I refuse to break 3 hours. Fastest Reddit take ever. From Funboot, quick play bots are now acting more realistic to make you think they're real players. They say, as far as I remember, they weren't like this before this season, but for some reason, I think they've updated it to make them more interactive. The quick play bots from your team now start to, 1, randomly start to hit a player nearby, 2, they spray random shoop around, and 3, they start to ping random shoop like need heal and regroup. Anyway, this makes me not enjoy quick play as much. I'd rather just willingly switch to AI matches instead of being placed in like this. At least they let the player know that they're playing against AI and not hide it. Yeah, I'm here. I don't like the quick play bot thing, and I don't like that like when you lose, it throws you in there to like make you feel better.
Yeah,
It just like
your ego. Yeah.
exactly. It's the like no one likes to be manipulated, even if it's over a little thing, and this is that. And
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna stop it. I don't think they're not gonna do it. I just don't. This is just gonna be a thing that makes me want to play quick play less, which is a bummer because I don't want to play competitive right now. But
yeah, I think it's bummed me out because what it's done is it's made me not. They're trying to make you feel better when you just had a game where you lose, but now all it's really done, because I know they're doing this, is it's made me never trust when I have a good game.
Yeah.
Like I sent you a game earlier where a screenshot of it where I did really well, and I'm like 95% sure that was probably a bot game, right? Because my team was just steamrolling the other team, and now I just expect if that's happening, it was probably always a bot game. Like,
man,
which makes me like games where I'm doing really well in comp, but those are a lot more rare because it's comp. But like, it takes the enjoyment out when I just don't even like. I'm sure there's games that have been actually really good, and I've just expected like, oh no, this is a bot game.
Right. Your game did have a Lord Spider-Man though, so that definitely wasn't a bot.
Maybe,
but I guess he was on your
Lord.
team. Yeah, can bots be lords? But there's some debate in the comments as to whether or not this is like actually happening. But I'm on the side that I think it is, and I don't like it.
Yep. All right, if we're not going to be 3 hours, kick it. Do it. Do the
well,
outro
that's
now.
For the day. Thanks for tuning into the longest episode of this podcast ever. If you want even more content, follow us on our socials or join our Discord. Leave us a review. We want to thank Night Gobbler. Okay, we'll see you in the multiverse. Bye.
See ya.